The following is a presentation of Grayson Publishing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is football time in Texas.
On the Howe Enterprise Sports webcast from HoweEnterprise.com. This is Howe Bulldogs football. Howe Bulldogs football brought to you by Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Buck Snort Barbecue, Howe Athletic Booster Club, Techway, and Meacham State Farm.
Kiss him goodbye. It is touchdown time in Texas.
Also brought to you by Knight Furniture, Independent Financial, Michelle Castle Guild Mortgage, Star Auto Body, Juan Enciso, Farmers Insurance.
Jalen Thornton looking for another seam. Spins out of another tackle. He is electric.
Also brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, Hit Exteriors LLC, Polio's Pizza Cafe, GCEC, Goodfellas Barbershop, Rapid Electric, Legends Bank, Core Fits Gym, Pradera Mobile Home Community, and Realty Group, Don's Smokehouse, Quick Check Convenience Stores, Texas Bred Lifestyle, Family Attorney Kimberly Killebrew, Grayson Garage Door.
It's a Haley's Comet for the first time in his career.
Now let's open the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party and join the voice of the Howe Bulldogs, Bonnie Walker.
District 5-3A has no brakes. East Texas powerhouse Mineola enters the dog pound from their 90-mile bus ride in their Greyhound, packed with gold footballs and blue-chip prospects. Travion Sneed, committed to SMU, plans to leave tracks all up and down the 85-year-old oldest stadium in North Texas. But the young Howe Bulldogs pack the field with sophomores and freshmen who are gaining precious experience as one day they hope to fill their bus rides with gold footballs. It's Mineola at Howe, and it's football time in Texas.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Justin, Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Buck Snort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Buck Snort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
Hello, Howe Bulldogs. This is Coach Joey McQueen, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Vic and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask that you back the Dogs and become a member today. Go visit the Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Have a great year, Bulldogs.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local Farmers Insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's Senior Spotlight is brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm. Now let's join Monty Walker with this week's seniors.
This is our Senior Spotlight, and this week, for the first time ever, we're not featuring a Howe Bulldog football player. We are featuring Spike. Actually, Reagan Troxtel. Reagan, there's a lot of Howe Bulldog in those veins. You're a Troxtel. Parents are Thomas Troxtel, Andrew Smith. Do they ever talk about their time at Howe High School?
Yes, so they talk about it a lot, especially between them and my cousin Katie and their parents. It's like every time we're together, we hear a story about them reminiscing their high school days.
When did you start thinking about being Spike?
So Going into high school, I had thought about doing cheer, but I really just wanted to kind of get on top of my grades and worry about FFA and everything throughout high school. And then my senior year, I was going to cheer, but I broke my collarbone during spring break, and so it kind of put it on hold. And I decided that I would be Spike instead.
So, Miss Kirby, now your cousin said that she's really nice and everything, which I find odd, but is she as hard on Spike or as easy on Spike as she is the cheerleaders?
She's definitely as hard on me as she is the cheerleaders, especially if I take a break during the game. She always wants me to get back out there and give it my full, time and effort to be the best Spike ever.
Now, the Bulldogs have had massive amounts of injuries this year. Cheerleaders have been injured. Band members have been injured. And now Spike has an injury. What's going on with Spike?
As I just said, I had broke my collarbone over spring break, and we flew down from Colorado to Texas to have surgery, and they put a plate in and screws. And Thursday, I had them removed, and so it will be a couple of weeks of recovery, and Spike will be back.
We'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back with our senior spotlight, Reagan Troxtel.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at mredinsurance.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Spotlight with Reagan Troxtel. So, have you ever thought about signing autographs as Spike?
Now that you say that, it might be a really good idea. I feel like the kids would enjoy it, and I might be able to start something for the upcoming Spikes to look forward to.
I think that's a good idea. I think the kids would love that. When you're not Spike, you raise animals. Talk about your FFA life.
I've been showing steers since I was 8 years old, so this will be my 11th year. It's definitely been more difficult this year, especially with the stock shows being canceled, and we're having to find alternate routes to get to different stock shows in order to show our animals and make the money that we spent on them, especially for my senior year. So it's been difficult trying to find different routes, I guess, to take to get to where we want it to be.
So basketball is starting. You've got your arm in a sling. How's that going to work out?
I have about 4 weeks of recovery time, but in 2 weeks I can start playing and shooting again, just no contact. And then in the 4 weeks I can start contact and pushing people around more.
Yeah, how does a Troxtel play basketball with no contact? How does that work?
I'm definitely very aggressive, I guess. It's definitely difficult to not want to, trip people and take the ball away.
You are your father's daughter. All right, well, the sling is going to play. Hopefully it's recovered by golf season. We're a ways from that. So talk about golf, and you've been a part of that for a while.
I started golf my sophomore year when we went to regionals, and it was just a great experience, especially to be with my cousin and Brooke and our other members of the golf team. And I just really like spending time with them. And this year we're all seniors, and we're all going to graduate together. And I hope we just go out on the top.
Favorite teacher?
Mr. and Mrs. Blum. I wouldn't be where I am in the FFA today if it wasn't without them. And I've learned a lot of communication skills and things through FFA that they've helped me do during LDEs and CDEs.
Today's Senior Spotlight is brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm. You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company, NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dick and Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's District 5 3A Division I Roundup is brought to you by Grayson Garage Door. Now let's join the blizzard. Blake Burnett with the District 5 3A Division I Roundup.
Welcome to 3A Division I District 5. It's the roundup time. We only have 2 games here tonight because COVID took away 2 games from us. Last week we had 3 games. Howe played at Commerce, Rains played at Winsboro, Pottsboro played at Mineola. Mineola defeated Pottsboro 57-49. This was an all-time classic. Pottsboro marching down the field to tie the game with 47 seconds left to force overtime. They did think about going for 2, but after both teams wasted 2 timeouts, they decided to kick the field goal and send it to overtime. Pottsboro got the ball first and went 4 and out in overtime, and then Mineola got it and scored in 3 plays later, and then they had to go for 2 because tiebreaker rules, and they got it to make the score 57-49. Commerce defeated Howe 49-0. Injuries are just catching up with the Bulldogs this season. Commerce had too much speed. Winsboro defeated Rains 53-48 in a high-scoring game, and it makes you think if Rains had their starting quarterback, this game could have been different, but Winsboro came out on top anyway. That leaves us with 2 games tonight, Mount Vernon versus Winsboro and Howe versus Mineola. Rains will be getting a 17-0 win over Commerce because Commerce had to forfeit due to COVID, and Pottsboro will be getting a 17-0 win over Bonham due to COVID. Mount Vernon versus Winsboro should be a solid game, probably the game of the night in the district. If Winsboro can keep Mount Vernon's offense on the sideline, and they do run the perfect offense for this to happen. If they can't keep them on the sideline, Mount Vernon's offense will score a lot of points. 52-28 in my opinion, Mount Vernon. Howe versus Mineola, the 2 teams that haven't missed a game due to COVID in this district, but Mineola is coming off a huge win a week ago, and they could look past the Bulldogs here tonight, causing this to be a little trap game for Mineola. Howe looks to play the spoiler tonight and get the big upset win.
Today's District 5 3A Division I Roundup is brought to you by Grayson Garage Door.
Grayson Garage Door. Call them at 903-815-9976. And let them know you heard about them from Howe Football for 20% off your service.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
Corfit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe. Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
Welcome to the Buffalo Wild Wings Coach's Corner. Now let's join Monty Walker with Howe Bulldogs head coach Bill Jalen.
All right, Coach, I'm not sure how you even pieced together a roster last week to travel to Commerce, but you did. And I think the whole town and the community of Howe has to be proud of the way your kids performed over there.
As a coaching staff, we were very proud Friday night. I know the result wasn't what you always want, but for piecing together a team, really Tuesday mid-practice and only having Wednesday to get them ready to go, I was really proud of the effort and the way the kids played Friday night. I mean, for having 4 or 5 JV kids that were playing JV the week before but had to fill in varsity positions this week, and then starting freshmen again, and it just, I was very proud of the kids. I mean, they fought and they played hard. I mean, it was a 6-0 game, 14-0 game, midway through the second quarter, and hats off to our coaching staff, hats off to our kids for getting those kids ready to go in such a short span and, band-aiding it together at the last minute.
Well, I formation and double wing look on offense, that helped you sustain drive and keep the ball away from them a little bit too, which always helps.
Yeah, we've really, probably since the Pottsboro game, we've gone more to the eye and, started adding the double wing as we were going through this, and it's really helped us out offensively. We've been able to sustain more drives, take time off the clock, keep their offenses off the field, and it's kind of the direction that we're going in right now with this season is, burn as much clock as we can, keep their, because some of the teams we're playing, I mean, they got some good athletes out on the field, and we got to keep them off the field, and it's really helped. And I think it's given our kids some confidence as well. Our kids are starting to play better and better each week. Each week I see little things when I'm watching film that we've improved on from week 1 to now. So.
Commerce had to forfeit the week prior to Pottsboro, had to forfeit this week to Rains. How does that happen? And we get sandwiched in between, and they just happen to be able to play against Howe. How does that work?
You can call it what you want, bad luck, whatever, but we're not going to question it just because we wouldn't want anybody questioning our integrity or anything like that. But in the back of my mind, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, you forfeited to Pottsboro, you're healthy against us, and now you're forfeiting again. It's happening all across the state. Coaches are playing the system to get what they need and to do what they need to do, or however you want to word it. But there's coaches out there playing the system, and we preach to our kids, follow the rules, do the right thing, and that's what we're doing as a program.
Injury situation, COVID situation, discipline situation. What kids are in? What kids are out?
We still got several out with injuries, but these, some of them are injuries that we knew that would be out for several weeks. And then the only 2 new injuries from last week, Aiden Burris hurt his knee in the second quarter, and Austin Haley will be out this week with a mild concussion, not really a concussion, but we're just playing it on the safe side. But we are getting some kids back. Johnny Meneses is back this week. Luke Jackson is back this week. Jaron Gresham's back this week, so that'll help our situation on the offensive and defensive line. So we were able not to pull up the JV kids this week to help with that situation. So our JV team is playing their normal game this week and everything. So got some back, but still got some out. I know we get several of them back. At least 2 more, I think, come back next week. So that'll be a positive as well.
We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout on the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Corner.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeout is limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit one offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
Coach, you mentioned Austin Haley would be out this week. Who is his replacement at quarterback?
We're going to go with Ethan Lopez at quarterback this week. Ethan is he's done a good job. I mean, we saw it in the Bells game when he came in and filled in. He did a great job leading our offense. And, you know, Ethan's just done a great job this year. You know, he's buying in. He'll be a senior next year. You know, I'm tagging him as being one of the leaders of our team next year. But he'll take the reins at quarterback. Caleb McNutt's going to take some snaps as well. There's some things that Ethan does better under center and some things Caleb does out of the gun that, you know, it's kind of like the counter of the two. So you'll see both of them on the field just in different aspects of what we're trying to do offensively. But Ethan's done a great job, and I tip my hat to Austin Haley. Austin, knowing he wasn't playing this week, is such a good kid and does good things for us that he sat back with the coaches this week when we were at practice and each day, and you know he was helping. You know, it wasn't just us coaching Ethan; he was coaching him as well, trying to get him ready for this game.
Kind of off the cuff, Austin Haley, his senior year, he's going to be like a coach out there, an extra coach on the staff, I believe.
He will, and you know I see him being a coach in the future. You know, he knows the game and he's learning the game each week, and you know even this year with the trials and tribulations and the tough things that we've gone through, he's growing as a leader and as a quarterback, and you know, I'm excited for the future with him. But like I said, it's usually when you have kids that are injured, some will stand off to the side. I mean, and some will be in there with the team. And you know, I just tipped my hat to Austin. He was right there, listening to every play call in the huddle that we were calling. And you know, if Ethan had a question at times, you know, Ethan was asking Austin, and that's great because sometimes kids learn better from their peers than they do their coaches. And it was just as a head coach, it was awesome to witness that this week.
Mineola comes to town. They bring with them probably the best player in the region, maybe in the state. Travion Sneed is an outstanding running back, committed to SMU as a linebacker, just an incredible athlete. What do you see from Mineola?
Mineola is, I mean, you got to stop 23 to stop them. He's a big, powerful, physical runner. You know, he'll run you over. He'll stiff arm you. But what makes him such a good football player is when I was showing the film to the kids, I was like, this kid is a complete football player for 3 reasons. He's big, he's dynamic, but he plays the game the right way. Where when I say that, I mean is he'll block. I mean, that's not one of those running backs that only plays when the ball's in his hand. I mean, you watch him, he'll go out and block, and he'll block hard. Yeah. But I see Mineola, you know, they're going to pound the ball with him. They're going to hand the ball to 22. They're going to throw the ball to 22. They're not as big as some of the teams we played this year, but they're very stout on the front offensive and defensive lines. They are a running team. They're going to try to run it, and they do a really good job of getting you based off of formation where they want you to be in to get that ball to Travion Sneed. You know, we've been preaching to our kids all week. We're going to line up this way. You know, we're going to put our kids in positions to make plays. But I mean, they got to tackle that kid, and he's going to be hard to tackle. We're working all week tackling low, but sometimes tackling low is not the answer with him because I've seen teams try to tackle him low, and he's just shoving them into the ground. So it'll be a challenge for us definitely. But
yeah, do you have a back in practice that can simulate Travion Sneed?
The closest one this week that we tried was Kevin Flores, but it didn't match the speed. You know, a couple of times Coach Murray got back there, but I mean, it's hard to simulate that. I mean, and you know, in some of the teams that we played this year with the big physical players that they've had, you can't simulate that in practice. So we do the best we can to simulate it, and then you know, Friday night the first quarter's there to get used to it, and then we go.
It's maybe one of the best players to land on Bulldog Stadium since Bam Morris back in the late '80s. When it's all said and done, there's a good possibility that Howe and Mineola are the only teams to complete their schedule and not have a week off due to COVID or any kind of a forfeit situation. I think that says volumes about the character of the program of the Howe Bulldogs.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, coaches are playing the system to get what they want. And again, I mean, I'm never a big fan of UIL, period, with the things, how they write things, the way they write rules and regulations. It's like an insurance policy. There's always leeway. So, you know, coaches are playing the system. You know, I don't like that we're playing Bonham next week and they've had 2 weeks off to heal and rest up, and we're running a gauntlet right now every week. We're banged up, but we're still going out and playing. But, yeah, it's a testament to our program and our kids and the character that we're teaching, that no matter what, you go out and play. It doesn't matter if we got 11 or if we got 13. We're going to go play the game if we got players that are willing to go play. And it's paid off. I mean, several coaches in our district have called us this week or called me this week and said, hey, Coach, you know, with all these forfeits and teams canceling and you don't know the reasons and everything, that they have a high respect for Howe, Texas right now, saying that you guys are doing a great job over there because you could have used time, you could have used the system to your advantage, but you didn't. You put your kids on the field each week because it's the right thing to do. And that's the biggest thing in our program is we want to mold our kids into men that they know always do the right thing.
Today's Coach's Corner has been brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeout is limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit one offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
This is Coach Jim Fryer, former Bulldog head coach and athletic director. Connie and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 80s. They supported all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask you to back the Dogs and to become a member today.
This is Coach Jay. Visit Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Bulldog pride never dies.
Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's Opposite Corner is brought to you by Texas Bread Lifestyle. Now let's join Monty Walker in the Opposite Corner.
We're visiting with Luke Blackwell, the head coach of Mineola. Coach, you're living the dream, head coach of your alma mater, married your high school sweetheart, 2 kids wearing orange. Is this how you drew it up?
Well, I tell you, it's not exactly how I drew it up. I really never envisioned, coming back and having an opportunity to work here and be a part of this program and definitely not, as a head coach, athletic director. But I think, ultimately that's part of God's plan sometimes, and things don't work out always like we think they're going to, but they work out in God's timing, and I've certainly been blessed to be here and have this opportunity to be here with these kids.
Now, you were the DC during the state championship run in 2016. We broadcast a great game with Howe that year in the regional finals. Talk about how special that year was for you guys.
I tell you what, it was, in a lot of ways it's because that group of kids had played so much and gotten so close and tasted it, and it was just good to see them, have the opportunity to go all the way and finish that off, with the state championship. And, speaking of Howe, I tell people all the time when they ask about 2016, I said I thought that was the toughest game and the toughest game to prepare for that year. they certainly had a really tough group of kids that year and tough schemes and a good program, and it was a really, really tough game.
You've been heavily involved in the track program at Mineola over the past 12 years. Track and football, kind of like your high school sweetheart, they go hand in hand, and you've had a successful track program. Talk about that.
Well, yeah, I do. I believe in that. I believe that the two very much go together, and I think, track-wise, I mean, it's obvious to kind of see from a speed development standpoint how that would benefit you in football. But I really think you get more out of the mental aspects of the track and field than anything else. I think it teaches kids how to compete, how to be tough, and how to push through things when it hurts a little bit and it doesn't feel good, and so those are a lot of lessons that I think that we get to build and develop in kids, as they're younger, and we're trying to prepare them to be varsity football players at some point. So I think there's a lot of value in those two programs and the way they kind of fit together.
Pottsboro, a week ago, you had a tremendous win in overtime. Huge win for you guys. We were watching it after the game after our post-game show. 4 consecutive timeouts, I think. A lot of chess matching going on. What a great win for you guys.
Well, it was, and we knew it was a big opportunity for us, and kind of coming off of a tough loss the previous week in Mount Vernon, and we felt like we had opportunities in that game and kind of let it get away from us, and I was just awful proud of our kids and the way we battled, in the Pottsboro game, because we got down quite a bit early on there, but we found ways to stay with it and battle back and kind of get it close to, get it back to a one-score game going into the half, and I was just proud of our kids and the way we competed and fought right there into the very end.
My very first game on varsity as a sophomore was against a kid named Bam Morris over at Cooper. I've got a freshman that's going to play both ways on the field Friday night, and I think one day he may be telling the story that he played against Travion Sneed. He's a special athlete. What do you see for his future? Is he committed anywhere?
Yeah, Trey is committed to SMU, and I think it's going to be a good fit for him. He's an awful special player, obviously, and I think people that have seen him play would say that about him, and I would tell you that he's a special person. I think he's does an awful lot for us, on and off the field. He's a high character kid. He's good in the classroom. He's a leader for us, at practice and in the locker room. In addition to the things that you see on Friday night. So he is a very special kid and a special player for us.
Winsboro's Josh Finney is also a hometown boy at his alma mater. He says he has no plans on leaving. Do you have dreams beyond Mineola, or do you want to complete it all in Orange over there?
I tell you what, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. I try to put everything in God's hands and let him, take me where he wants to be. But, we're really happy here and proud to be invested in this program, in this community with these kids, where we've got, the family-wise, we've got background and history here, and it's fun to be a part of that. And certainly we'd love to continue to be a part of that in the future. So.
The Opposite Corner is brought to you by Texas Bred Lifestyle. Show that you are Bulldog bred with one of our Howe Bulldog Bred custom hats. Visit Texas Bred Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmer's insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company. NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor is brought to you by Quick Check Convenience Stores. Now let's join Monty Walker with the Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor.
The Howe Bulldogs are 5-3 on games played on October the 23rd. In 1964, Howe was blanked at home by Prosper 28-0, but got revenge in 1970 when the Bulldogs won 20-8 at Bulldog Stadium. Howe beat Lindsay 46-20 in 1981 when the Howe defense intercepted 5 passes, including a Scott Wortham 33-yard return for the game's first score. Freshman Randy Gear got 11 carries that night and scored his first varsity touchdown on this date 39 years ago. Howe beat S&S in 1987 behind Brian Ross's 186 yards rushing and Rob Bowe's 110 yards rushing. Howe lost to Aubrey on this date in 1992, 31-0, and beat Bells in 1998, 21-0 on Nathaniel Falls, 226 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Howe lost at Honey Grove 34-20 in 2009 and beat S&S 28-0 in 2015 with a 28-0 game-shortened Lightning win. Howe moved to 7-1 that night and entered the state ranking at the number 10 spot. Howe's only matchup with Mineola came on Thanksgiving weekend in the third round of the playoffs in 2016.
Wall under center, handoff Griffin, left side, he is in, it's Grisham! Gobble, gobble, gobble! Happy Thanksgiving, Grisham!
The Bulldogs scored on a Tyler Grisham 3-yard touchdown run, but fumbles kept Howe from tying the game late in the fourth quarter, and Mineola turned in a late score to defeat the Dogs 21-7. Since that classic matchup, Mineola has gone 22-16, while the Bulldogs have gone 7-30. This week's Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor is brought to you by Quick Check Convenience Stores, moving small towns forward. Family owned and operated in North Texas since 1977.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dicken Broker, for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
On the Howe Enterprise Sports webcast from HoweEnterprise.com. This is Howe Bulldogs football. Today's scene setter is brought to you by Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, proud partner of Bulldogs Athletics.
Howe and Mineola met once before. It was late in November, long after the ghouls and goblins were packed away into the attic. The third round of the playoffs meant in 2016 that it was turkey time in Texas.
Ball under center, handoff to Griffin. Left side, he is in, it's Grisham! Gobble, gobble, gobble! Happy Thanksgiving, Grisham!
But Tyler Grisham, Tanner Hartsfield, and Andrew Griffin are long gone. A new opportunity with a new set of young Bulldogs. The Yellowjackets of Mineola are still as fierce as ever. And even though the Dogs are pushed into a corner in 2020, don't mistake the young pups for whimpering into the night, because it is not their style.
Huff again, same play. He made the catch, I believe, at the 15-yard line. K9 for 3. What a catch by McNutt.
The future's bright here. We just got to ride this storm. Those young kids came together and they played hard. I'm very proud of all our young kids.
It's the Howe Bulldogs and the Mineola Yellowjackets. Here we go. Live from the Dog Pound. This is Bulldogs football.
Today's scene setter is brought to you by Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, proud partner of Bulldogs Athletics. You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. On the Howe Enterprise Sports webcast from HoweEnterprise.com. This is Howe Bulldogs football. Football time in Texas is just moments away. Now, with the call of the game, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Monty Walker.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bulldog Stadium. It is cold. It's a very chilly night here at Bulldog Stadium. We hadn't had one of these in quite some time, as Charles Haley walks by and says, shh. Of course, Charles is the father of Austin Haley, who will not play tonight. He got knocked around a little bit last week, so he's going to sit out. He's got a slight concussion. I believe he will be back next week against Bonham. Let's go over your hit exterior starting lineup. And for the Bulldogs, up front on offense will be Jonathan Meneses, the left tackle. Jackson Adkins, the left guard. Malin Walker will get the start tonight at center. He was at left guard, left tackle a week ago in his first start. He'll start at center tonight. Luke Jackson at right guard and Jaron Grisham at right tackle. Some injured faces are back on the field. That's good to see for the Bulldogs. Braden Wise will continue at tight end tonight. And Ethan Lopez will get the start at quarterback. So he played a little bit in Bells. He was 3 out of 5 that night, 102 yards and 1 touchdown. Ryan Huff will be split out wide, and he's a sophomore with 6 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown. The slot, since Elo is going to quarterback, the slot will be Matt Hayes. He's got 40 carries for 98 yards, and the fullback tonight will be sophomore. Of course, Hayes is a sophomore. The fullback, a sophomore. Bryce Crosby, 11 carries, 13 yards on the season for Crosby. And Jordan Jones will get the start at tailback tonight. He's a senior, 42 carries, 204 yards on the season. He's also caught 7 catches for 49 yards. He's got 1 rushing touchdown. Averages 4.86 on the ground and 7 yards per catch. That's your hit exterior starting offense for the Howe Bulldogs. Justin White, welcome on this chilly evening. Let's go over the starting defense, I guess, for Mineola.
All right, let's start with the defensive line. Defensive end, Kobe Kendrick. We hear a lot about Travion Sneed on defense, but Kobe Kendrick will be someone to watch out as well on the defensive end. Defensive tackle is Keywan Fight, Nate Griffin, and Jackson Anderson also on the defensive end. Linebackers are Travion Sneed, middle linebacker Hunter Wright, and starting listed at Dawson Pendergrass outside linebacker. In the secondary, Jackson Holland and T.J. Moreland at cornerback, and at safeties Coy Anderson and Thomas Hooten.
So you might know a little bit about Mineola. You've got a cousin broadcasting across the way, right?
Yeah, he's over there doing the streaming live. We got to watch some of the game last week, their victory over Pottsboro.
Let's continue with the hit exterior starting lineup. On defense for the Bulldogs up front, the defensive tackles will be Jaron Grisham and Luke Jackson, both injured a week ago, both on the field tonight. Getting the start again at nose guard this week, Malin Walker, the freshman. The linebackers tonight, Colby Taylor, Jackson Adkins, and Seth Key, all seniors. And the joker is Matt Hayes. He's a sophomore. The two cornerbacks tonight for Howe will be Caleb Warmond and Wesley Inge. They're both juniors. And the safeties are both seniors, Joey Heimel and Jordan Jones. Let's go over the Mineola Yellowjackets starting over.
All right, on the offensive line is left tackle Isaiah Gardner. Left guard Caleb Barton. Center is Dawson Elmore. Right guard is Jackson Anderson. And the right tackle is Nate Griffin. The ex-receiver is Thomas Hooten. Tight end is Hunter Wright. Slot is Kobe Kendrick. And fullback is Dawson Pendergrass. QB is T.J. Moreland. And the guy we'll hear a lot who is committed to SMU, halfback, fullback, running back, Travion Sneed.
Travion Sneed, the best player perhaps to suit up on this field since Bam Morris back in 1988. That was a September game when Bam had 9 carries for 138 yards and then got injured in the second half. He had a 53-yard run here at Bulldog Stadium, and he went on to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cowboys in Super Bowl 30. For the Bulldogs, they have 41 total on the roster, 31 of which are active. That means 10 are inactive and injured. 15 seniors, 11 juniors, 12 sophomores, and 3 freshmen, of which 2 are active tonight. The Mineola Yellowjackets head coach Luke Blackwell is 22-16 in his career. He's a 95 graduate of Mineola High School, so another one kind of like Josh Finney from Winsboro at his alma mater. He earned his degree in finance at UT Tyler, began his teaching and coaching career in Cold Spring ISD in 2003. He returned to Mineola in 2008, where he has served as head boys track coach for 9 years, as well as defensive coordinator, and now obviously the head coach. And Mineola had the big game against Howe back in 2016, and Blackwell says that was the toughest game that they had during that state championship run. The opponent overview tonight is sponsored by attorney Micah Belden, and I think you'll be able to give the opponent overview pretty well since you have connections to
a little bit over there. A little bit here. Obviously, Travion Sneed is the guy to look for. Dawson Pendergrass is another good athlete there. Now, we saw him in pregame that he had a boot on his ankle, so we'll see if that is there when game time starts or if that miraculously disappears. But they got a couple other guys on here to look at. Jackson Anderson, a right guard. He's committed to the University of Colorado. Colby Kendrick is another guy that's kind of out of the spotlight because of Sneed and Pendergrass. But they got some pretty good athletes on this team. They upset Pottsboro last week, so they're a force to be reckoned with here in this district.
That's your opponent overview, brought to you by attorney Micah Belden. When you want to outmatch your opponent, call Micah Belden at 903-744-4252, extension 2. The Howe Bulldogs overview tonight brought to you by Goodfellas Barbershop. The Dogs are going to have to do again tonight what they had to do last week, which is control the football on the ground, burn the clock, keep Mineola's offense on their sideline, and just try to put together some of these long drives. 12 plays, 17 plays. We've seen the past couple of weeks. They're able to do that. When they were in I formation last week is when they really did well in penetrating basically the entire football field. They didn't get points out of it, but they were able to keep Mineola or Commerce last week from scoring a whole lot of points because Commerce simply didn't have the football. On defense, how about some turnovers? The Bulldogs have not created turnovers this year. Last year, they created a ton of turnovers, 15 interceptions and 14 fumble recoveries a year ago. They are not doing that this year. Need to do so if they want to have a chance at all in staying in this football game. That's your Howe Bulldogs overview, brought to you by Goodfellas Barbershop. Goodfellas Barbershop in downtown Howe, specializing in all cuts and styles and straight razor shaves. Experience the old school feel at Goodfellas Barbershop in downtown Howe. Final thoughts by Rapid Electric. Justin, we'll start with you. Final thought for tonight?
I think you got, like you said, got a burn clock. I think Sneed, you need to swarm tackle, try to tackle him low, and just hang on for dear life for the rest of the Bulldogs to come and help. Offensively, you're without Austin Haley, so you got Ethan Lopez back there. So I'm kind of curious to see what we haven't seen him at quarterback since Bells, and he did pretty decent there in mop-up time against Bells. But again, injuries have been an issue for the Bulldogs all season long. And they've got a few of them back here, but it's still going to be their team is still pretty depleted.
So the blizzard is upstairs tonight, and it's going to be cold. So the blizzard is definitely going to be blizzardish tonight. So how about your Rapid Electric final thought, Blizzard?
Yes, it's very cold up here already, and my final thought tonight is no injuries and get the younger kids a lot of good reps tonight.
That's a pretty good one. Now, for the first time tonight, our Night Furniture sideline reporter for our Rapid Electric final thought, Caroline Slauson. Where are you? Down on the field? There you are.
Yeah, I'm down here by the band.
So give us your final thought. What do you think tonight?
Well, I mean, just like last.
The mic sounds good.
Just like it's the person. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Hey guys, just like last week, I'm just hoping to get out of here with zero injuries. The health of these boys is, in my opinion, the most important, and let's just hope.
There you go. That's your final thought by Rapid Electric. The Rapid Electric. Where am I? There we are. Rapid Electric. Don't get shocked. Call them at 903-421-8100. Rapid Electric, I tell you what, they've done some work for me and done an outstanding job. Matter of fact, they've helped install all the speakers here behind the bleachers and at the concession stand. So if you're listening over there, you can thank Rapid Electric. Also, if you're at the concession stand, they have popcorn tonight. They wanted to talk about popcorn. So the FFA boosters are running the concession stand over there. Give the Blums a howdy from us and get you some popcorn. So next on the list, we have the Tech Wave kickoff coming up. We're going to take a quick timeout. We have the officials tonight, though. I'll tell you what, let's do that later. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this. Justin, Bucksnord Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnord Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
Hello, Howe Bulldogs. This is Coach Joey McQueen, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Vic and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask that you back the Dogs and become a member today. Go visit the Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Have a great year, Bulldogs.
Welcome back. The officials tonight will be referee Tim Summers, the umpire Mark Gaskill, the head linesman Robert Hodge, the line judge is Lynn Fassick, and the back judge is Don Glasgow. That's your officials tonight here at Bulldog Stadium. We we're going to have Elo tonight, I believe, be the captain. Of course, we can only have one captain now because of COVID. Some injuries tonight that will not be suiting up. Of course, Jalen Thornton hasn't suited up in a while. We talked about Austin Haley not able to play tonight, have a little concussion a week ago. Carson Daniels out tonight. We think he might be able to be back a week from now. Cooper Jones is still out. He got poked in the eye a couple weeks ago, so he will not be for the rest of the season. We hear he's out. Caleb Hicks is out. He had a concussion, really got knocked hard a couple weeks ago, and he is out. Raul Hernandez is out. Brantley Flynn is still out, nursing an injury. Dakota Harrington nursing a knee injury. Will Fleming nursing a knee injury, and Matthew Bearden has a finger injury. He hasn't played all year. except I think for a little bit against Callisburg, the very first game, week 1. So that's your injury situation. We ought to have an injury sponsor.
Yeah, really.
They get a lot of mentions. So the Howe Bulldogs, I believe, getting ready to run through the tunnel. And from what I understand, we have a school song fight song. No tunnel for Mineola. Have we seen this before? I mean, that's a long drive. It's a 90-mile drive to get over here. Did they just not want to bring, extra diesel fuel to bring the whole tunnel over here? What do you think?
That, or they may be doing the old paper, like the 80s and 90s, where you ran through the poster board or whatever it is, the construction paper. And they may not be doing that. It looks like they're just going to run between.
They're just going to carry a flag, and they're not. I mean, it's like 8th grade.
Right.
They've also got a sledgehammer, so I don't know if 8th grade carries sledgehammers.
No, that sledgehammer. Hey, Coach Simmons has a sledgehammer. You got to watch out with those sledgehammers. So,
and I bet Snead is the one carrying the sledgehammer.
And here comes Mineola through their little victory line, and a little crowd from Mineola has made it over here. Not a big one, but that's a long drive all the way over here to Howe, Texas, from Mineola. They are in all white, white helmets, white pants, and white uniforms with orange numbers. And the Bulldogs getting ready, to come through their tunnel. They've got a victory line. They do have the big Bulldog tunnel that's getting some age on it. I know it's had quite a few repairs, but Loretta Anderson provided that tunnel many years ago, and it still looks great, but it's getting some age on it a little bit. I think there's a lot of kids that are running through that tunnel tonight ran through it when they were in Pee-wee. Here come the Bulldogs in all black. Black pants, black jerseys, black helmets. It's a good look. Thick gray stripe down the side. White numbers outlined in gray. And the sleek silver dogs on the helmet. And the Bulldogs race from the north end zone all the way down to the south end zone where they'll take a knee and get ready for the prayer and get ready for the kickoff. You can hear the pride of Howe.
Tell you, it's good football weather. You got the dormant grass starting to show up here. This is prime football time right now.
Good football weather from the guy in the booth.
Guilty.
Hey, I'll tell you.
Hey, I've done that time out there too. I do feel bad for you.
Thank you.
How is it up there, Blizzard?
Windy and cold.
Yeah.
I like how when we go to Blizzard, you can hear the wind in the mic for good effect.
Well, hey, if there's any consolation, we do know that the booth next to us controls the air, and Leon Thornhill's over there. And Leon Thornhill will have it 85 degrees in here in a nanosecond. So we've got the roof raised. We've got the lid open just in case Leon cranks it up to 90 tonight.
We had to shed our jackets and tops here in a little bit.
We may pull it down. Oh, we're in the coin toss.
Tails.
Tails, I'm going to let it hit the ground.
Defer to the second half.
Defer to the second half. You want to receive? Sir. You want to receive?
All right, so that is the coin toss. Thank you, Caroline. We were up here jabbering about being a little warm. And Caroline's over there in the middle of the coin toss. Elo, and it looks like for Mineola, it's Jackson Holland, and they won the toss, and they've elected to defer to the second half. So Howe will start the football game with the football. And I believe, if I saw that right, Howe's going to be moving right to left towards the concession stand from south to north. And I believe we're ready for the national anthem. I think we're ready. We're almost ready. Here we are. pretty decent crowd over here in Howe. It's football time in Texas at Bulldog Stadium. The crowd, obviously, when you're 0-7, is a little thinner than it is when you're 7-0, or even 5-2, or what have you. But the Bulldogs will be taking the football first on the Tech Wave kickoff, and doing the kicking for Mineola will be, they have a couple of different kickers, and Gustavo Sanchez does all the kickoffs, while they have another Rojas who does the place kicking for them here recently anyway. Sanchez has done some place kicking during the season, but Rojas recently, a left-footed kicker, has been banging them through. The Tech Wave kickoff is just about to be underway. Howe is lined up on kickoff return. Back deep for the Dogs is Jordan Jones, but he's not real deep. He'll stand at about the 11, 12-yard line, expecting a pooch kick perhaps. Along with Jones is going to be, I believe that's on the near side, Joey Heimel, and on the far side, I think that's Matt Hayes on the far side.
Yeah, that's Hayes over there.
It is Hayes. So the Tech Wave kickoff here at Bulldog Stadium. Mineola and Howe. Not quite the Mineola versus Howe game we had a few years ago, but here we are. Same uniforms, same black jerseys for the Bulldogs. And the Tech Wave kickoff is going to be taken at the 8-yard line by Jordan Jones. On the right hash, darts, tries to find a seam, and is going to be knocked down in the very middle of the field at the 21-yard line. And Howe will start there from their own 21.
All right, so with Austin Haley out, again, we have Ethan Lopez in there. Elo is quarterback, so it'll be interesting to see. We saw a little double wing last week offense from the Bulldogs along with the I formation, so it's interesting to see what we'll have here tonight.
Again, the freshman Malin Walker gets to start at center, so watch that. A new center and a new quarterback tonight. The exchange could be very, very costly if mistakes are made, and Elo will start the game in shotgun formation. Standing to his left is Jordan Jones. First down and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Jones and a halfback pass down the field. Wide open, Ryan Huff caught it at the 48, sprinting towards the end zone. He's got the 20, makes a cut to the inside 15, knocked down at the 10-yard line, inside the 10 to about the 5. How about that? Some trickery, razzle-dazzle on play number 1 at Bulldog Stadium.
You're 0-7 playing one of the best teams in the district? Why the heck not?
Why not?
They picked handoff to Jones, and then Jones just threw it long, and Huff got behind the coverage. Nobody was there. And lucky for the Yellowjackets, they were able to bring him down. Now you've got a score here on this. You're inside the red zone.
First and goal from the 7. Elo goes under center. Man in motion is Jones. They toss it to him, right guard, up the middle. Not much doing there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard. They'll give him a yard, or perhaps 2 to the 5. Elo was talking to him before the game about his new center, Malin Walker, and he said he feels very safe because he feels like he's so small right behind Malin.
That's good. That's good. Feels protection. Feels comfortable.
Second down and goal from about the 5. 10:30 and rolling here in the first quarter. Howe on a huge halfback pass from Jordan Jones to Ryan Huff to start the game on play number 1. 2 receivers come near side and a slot to the right. Matter of fact, double wing, and this is going to be a handoff to Jones running right side. He is in! It is touchdown time in Texas! How about that?
Give it to Jones, goes around the right side. Nobody touched him. Use that speed to get around the corner, and the Bulldogs have struck first.
JoJo power around the right side for 5 yards.
3 plays just like that. And this is something the Bulldogs do. They start out pretty well here in the first quarter, maybe halfway through the second quarter. Let's see if they can sustain that.
3 plays, 79 yards, and there's your PAT by K9, who is now K66, Kevin Flores. And it's 7-0 Howe. Uh-oh, who saw that? We'll be right back.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmer's insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap for Howe. To start the game, 3 plays, 79 yards, 7-0. They lead. 10-17 left to go in the first, and the ball falls off the tee. On the Tech Wave kickoff, they'll have to reset it. Looks like Howe's going to onside kick there. The big play on the first drive was the very first play of the game, a halfback pass from Jordan Jones to Ryan Huff. And now the ball falls off the tee again. And now they're going to have a hold.
Yeah, they're going to have somebody to hold that.
And this may change everything that Howe wanted to do because it appeared that they were trying to onside kick. And Matt Hayes came to hold, but he didn't know which side to hold. He tried to hold, and Flores had to tell him, hey, switch sides or I'm going to kick you right in the teeth. And your Tech Wave kickoff is going to be an onside kick. At the 50, it takes a big hop, and it rolls on the ground, and Mineola is going to take it at the 49-yard line on their side of the field, just shy of midfield. And the Bulldogs trying to capitalize and get some momentum there after that big first score.
Man, pulling out all the stops, halfback pass, onside kick.
Why not? Why not?
You know, we didn't talk as much, too, about that pass, how good of a pass that was from Jordan Jones to Huff.
It was a great pass. It was a great pass.
It certainly was, and it was like Huff was playing center field down there.
All right, here we go with this.
First and 10, first glimpse of Travion Sneed. And he'll be in I formation or pistol, and he'll get the hand left tackle, and he bounces out and finally brought down after about a 2-yard gain. And Luke Jackson's going to get off the turf. And Sneed picks up a couple and crosses midfield to the 49.
Yeah, just got him in pistol, but give him a chance to run downhill a little bit. And Luke Jackson came over from his defensive end spot on the other side of the formation and just hung on. Sneed grabbed it for 2 yards.
Second down and 8. Left to right goes Mineola in all white. Pistol formation, handoff again to Sneed coming near side. Being chased down, stiff arms Jackson Adkins and pushed out of bounds by Jackson Adkins. He grabbed his feet, and now he gives a stiff arm with an elbow to Adkins, and Adkins says, hey, I'll push you right back, kid. Close to a first down, about a yard short.
Yeah, basically almost the same play, just went to the right side, and Jackson Adkins refused to let him get past him or plow over him. Adkins able to push him out of bounds, but be careful that stiff arm. We've seen that stiff arm has gone viral on social media.
Great job there by the linebacker, senior linebacker. Third down and short here for Mineola. Another pistol look as Moreland is in the pistol. Handoff Sneed straight up the middle, has the first down and more. Look out, 30. And he's down at about the 27-yard line. A big burst of speed by Sneed, and Mineola will move the sticks. They'll mark it at the 29.
Went right up the middle. It wasn't a huge hole, but just enough to let him get through there, and then got to the next level. A good job by Heimel. Wrapped him up around his legs. Didn't let him get by, but enough for a first down.
8:30 on the clock here at Bulldog Stadium as it's 1st and 10, left to right, towards the south end zone. Moreland's going to keep it this time, looking for a block around the left edge, and he has the first down and more, and finally goes out of bounds and near the 15-yard line perhaps, and they'll move the sticks again.
They don't throw the ball a lot, but they're going to run it in different options. Again, Dylan Pendergrass is not out there tonight. Dawson Pendergrass is not out there tonight. So Moreland and obviously Sneed and Kendrick will be some of the guys getting the carries tonight.
First offensive play for Mineola that we've seen that didn't feature Travion Sneed. 1st and 10. Man goes in motion. And a pistol look again. Moreland turns around, and he hands it to Sneed, right tackle, and he barrels his way towards the goal line. Man, what a run that was. He's in. Touchdown, Mineola. A 15-yard run by Sneed as he was not going to be stopped. You could tell in the way he ran, he was determined.
He went right behind the right guard, and I saw arms from the Bulldogs trying to tackle him or trying to reach out and slow him down, and I can assure you an arm tackle will not do it.
That's not going to happen.
He showed it right there. He just plowed through everybody.
So it'll be the PAT, Rojas, the left-footed kicker. It is good, and it ties the game with 7:56 to go here in the first. We'll be right back right after this.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company, NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Game's all tied up at 7 here at Bulldog Stadium between Mineola and Howe. It was a 5-play, 51-yard drive by Mineola, capped off by a 15-yard touchdown by Travion Sneed to tie the game at 7. And that is your Hit Exterior scoring drive recap. The Tech Wave kickoff is just about underway as Mineola's lining up for it. It'll be, again, that is Sanchez who kicks off, but it's Rojas who does the PATs. And Sanchez bangs this one pretty deep, right in the middle of the field, right hash actually to Jordan Jones. Coming straight up the field, now cuts left and is buried. He thought about for a moment going left, but he went nowhere.
17-yard line.
So they'll start at about the 17. Will the Bulldogs going right to left?
Well, let's see if the
can we go halfback pass?
Yeah. Do you double down, do it again, see if they're covering it?
How about this side? Just do it to the other side.
Yeah, go left. Yeah. But let's see if the real offense comes out here. See if they try to ground and pound here and bleed more to this clock.
The offense comes back onto the field. 1st and 10 for Howe. Again, up front for the Bulldogs, Manessis, Adkins, Walker, Jackson, and Grisham. Elo, the quarterback tonight, will go under center here in a double wing look on 1st and 10. And a false start. Something happened there with maybe the exchange, or maybe somebody just jumped off sides. It'll be a penalty against Howe. It's the 5-yard variety, so it'll be 1st and 15. Well, they're still talking about it. What are they talking about? Yeah, they are. There they go. They're going to back it up 5.
It's a delay of game.
Delay of game. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
5-yard penalty.
Wow.
Which is not good to have delay of game on your first drive of the play of the drive.
It seemed very quick.
It did. That did.
Huh. Okay. All right. Well. So here come the Bulldogs again. 1st and 15 now. And another double wing look. Looks like the same formation as Elo will go under center. Sends a man in motion. He turns and tosses. I think that's Matt Hayes. And Hayes is going to get maybe one.
Matt Hayes carrying for the Bulldogs.
I think he gets one on the carry. Maybe two. Or did he just get back to the line of scrimmage? Maybe no gain.
Hayes, one of the harder runners on this team, trying to find a hole there on that left side. Just couldn't find anything. Good job by the Yellowjackets there to cover up the gaps.
You know, we've talked an awful lot about Sneed being the stud running back that he is. but he is going to SMU as a linebacker.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that he's a really good linebacker. Can really move.
He's a full football player. Here's a trap on the inside, and boy, right there, sniffing it out immediately was the defensive end, Kobe Kendrick, right there to make the stop. Nothing doing, and a loss on the play, I believe. Back to the 11.
Kobe Kendrick on the defensive end, 6'2", 216 that he's listed as, and he was right there in the backfield.
Boy, he dropped duty in a hurry. 6:38 on the clock. And Elo goes back in pistol. And he looks, rolls out near side, looking for somewhere to throw the ball to. Sidearm pass, caught by Huff, but it's out of bounds. Huff made a great catch, but he was just a little bit out of bounds, and it'll be incomplete and punt time for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad throw rolling to your left, which is a little bit uncomfortable for somebody throwing right-handed, and just may have let him just a little bit outside. I don't know if he was able to get that toe down. But Lopez, who is known more for running, but had a pretty good pass there.
The incomplete pass stops the clock at 6:19 here in the first quarter, and Howe's going to have to punt for the very first time tonight. And it'll be Kevin Flores with his feet touching the end zone, and it's going to be a high kick, not very far. It's a high wobbly kick, doesn't go very far at all. Now takes a Howe bounce, and Elo is able to get back on it, but Mineola's in fantastic shape. Inside the Howe 20 with it at the 18-yard line or 19-yard line, already a penetration.
Yeah, that one went straight up, and I think the wind may have got a little part of that and brought it back the other way, and the bounce didn't help.
6:09 on the clock, and Mineola is just knocking on the door right here. Anytime you have Sneed in the Sneed in the game, you're in striking distance.
Jackets ball, 1st and 10.
So this is another pistol look. And this is going to be Sneed turning around, and
Sneed on the
he's going to run over right guard for a bit, maybe about 3 yards on first down.
Defensive charge for the Bulldogs.
We'll hand off to him. The quarterback looks like he's almost doing a read option. I wonder at some point we'll see him try to keep it and run it around the outside, but for now they're just handing off to Sneed right in between the tackles and let him go to work.
If I'm not mistaken, Sneed has run every play except one when Moreland kept it.
I believe so.
I know Blizzard knows. Second down, they'll give him 4, so 2nd down and 6. Moreland tosses Sneed, makes a cut, now heads out to the right side, spins at the 5, now spins at the 3, won't go down inside the goal line. Is he close? He's in. My goodness. Wow, what a run by Sneed. 16-yard touchdown for the Yellowjackets, and they take the lead 13-7 with 5:20 left to go here in the first. My goodness.
Well, there we start to see why
he's showing off.
Going the next level. A pitch out the right side, and he cut, he sidestepped, he spun. He had just about every move in the book there, and able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. He looked the part there.
So here's Rojas on for the PAT. It's on the tee. The kick is low, line drive, but good. Boy, barely. Pitching wedge right there. 5:20 left to go in the first. Mineola takes the lead 14-7. We'll be back right after this.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dick & Broker, for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Welcome back. 14-7, Mineola in the lead now here at Bulldog Stadium after a two-play 19-yard drive, capped off by a 16-yard show-off touchdown by Travion Sneed. What a run it was. That's your hit exterior scoring drive recap. Tech Wave kickoff is going to be in the air now. Sanchez is going to bang it deep at the 9-yard line. Jones is going to take it straight up the seam and is hit hard. Tries to spin out of the tackle but can't do it. He'll be marked down at the 20, and that's where Howe will start
21-yard line.
their next possession. This is their third possession for the Bulldogs. The first one scored. The very first play of the game was a halfback pass to Ryan Huff down to the 7-yard line, and then JoJo punched it in from the 5. Howe punted on their next possession and now have it on their third, starting at the 20-yard line, moving right to left. 5:11 on the clock, and the Bulldogs will actually start at their own 21. Waiting on the officials. No delay of game here.
No.
Officials just now blew the whistle. Double wing look, and Elo will hand off to JoJo around right tackle and forward. The pile moves forward, and that was a pretty good looking run there of about 5 yards, maybe 6 for Jordan Jones, maybe 7 as the pile just kept moving near the 30-yard line. They'll spot it near the 27.
Jordan Jones was in the backfield, and I believe Bryce Crosby, or maybe Dylan Hayes, I think was, Matthew Hayes was over there lead blocking for Jones.
Elo goes under center on 2nd down and 4, so we'll give Jones 6 on the last play. He gets the carry again right here. Shakes and bakes around the left side. Going to be close to a first down, and he has it at the 34-yard line. A nifty run by Jones around the left edge.
Yeah, saw something on the outside, tried to go out, but then right there waiting for him was number 3, TJ Moreland, who kind of pushed him back inside and able to find a little bit of a hold to get just enough for the first down.
They'll spot the ball at the 35-yard line, a new set of downs. Malin Walker sprints to the line of scrimmage. He's been doing that each time, sprinting out of the huddle to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, right to left, headed towards that concession stand. And this is going to be a handoff to JoJo right up the middle. Not much doing right there, though. He's pushed back after maybe a yard, maybe 2. And 2nd down and 8 or 9 is coming up. I guess they're going to give him 2. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Bulldogs. So Jones running well tonight.
Yeah, had a couple of good runs there. He just ran right into the middle of the line, and again, the Yellowjackets do a good job there of plugging up the holes and making the run minimal.
Ryan Huff is split out wide to the right this time. And this is going to be a handoff to Cross into the game, I believe, for his first carry. And the ball's on the turf. No indication. The officials are going to say he was down. I think that was Cross on his first carry of the night. And 3rd down and 7 is coming up.
Let's see if we see the arm of Lopez, maybe a play action type here. Or maybe try to get Jordan Jones around the edge.
Hey, how about a halfback pass? How about a Boomerooski or something, right? Statue of Liberty.
Pull out all the stops. Come on.
Huff split out wide to the right again. And Elo goes in shotgun. He's going to hand off to Jordan Jones around the right edge, and he's in trouble, and he goes down a big loss. Way back inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Just had nowhere to go around the right edge, and it was trouble from the very beginning. And Jones, big loss, will have the Bulldogs punting from about a 4th down and 15 situation.
Good pursuit there by the Yellowjackets. He tried to get around that corner, Jones did, and the Yellowjacket defense just went right with them, and they were ready for him to get around that corner, and they just dropped him back farther and farther.
So the wind blowing right in the face of the Bulldogs. If the punt is going to be a high one again, it's not going to go very far. It's another high one, and it bounces just on the Mineola side at the 49-yard line, and Ryan Huff kills it right there. So Mineola again, for the second time, will start at their own 49-yard line. The last time they did that, it was a 15-yard touchdown by Sneed to cap off that drive. And now they'll start at the front. Well, I guess they're actually going to call it the 50. So right at midfield.
That was a pretty important offensive possession. I know they say that early in the game, but now it's a big defensive possession as well. You fall down behind 2 scores to a team like Mineola. and you're really putting yourself behind the 8 ball.
Well, Howe took 3 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock on that drive, so there's something to that. 1st and 10, Mineola, and for the first time tonight, a different formation, and Moreland's going to keep it over right guard. And he's got good yardage, 7-8 yards into Howe's side of the field to about the 42-yard line.
Well, we talked about how everybody's going to focus on Sneed and using that read option. That time Moreland kept it, went right out the middle with it. Moreland's got some pretty good athleticism. He's a pretty good basketball player from what I hear. Real good basketball player. Him and Pendergrass are both sophomores on this team. A lot of talent for this team coming up for Mineola.
2nd down and 1 coming up for the Yellowjackets right here. 2 receivers out either side, back to the pistol look with Sneed dotting it. Moreland wants it, calls for it, hands off Sneed, right guard. He bounces it to the left. Look out. He's got some room. He's outrunning Heimel. Now he's going to try to outrun some others, but he's caught at about the 5-yard line. A big run by Sneed, and he's racking up the yardage here at Bulldog Stadium.
I'll tell you, he runs the ball, and it's not that the Bulldogs are slow, but I think it's anybody. It's just like they're in slow motion. I mean, he's just blowing by everybody, and then Heimel got a hand on the jersey, and I hope Heimel didn't tear a rotator cuff because he held on and for dear life to Sneed, and Sneed was able to go down, but gosh.
We're talking about a running back. Again, this is the best running back that's been on this field since 1988 in Bam Morris, who went on to play for Texas Tech and then the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here is Sneed getting it directly from the snap, and he easily goes in for the touchdown. 3-yard touchdown for Sneed on the Wildcat. His 3rd of the night, and now Mineola leads 20-7 with 19 seconds left to go in the first.
I was actually talking to
Yes.
You're saying Caroline?
Caroline.
Rojas to try the extra point.
So Rojas on to boot the PAT. And it's on the tee. The kick is up. Another line drive, low kick. But it's good. 21-7. Howe and the Mineola in the lead. We'll be right back right after this.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap for Mineola was 3 plays, 50 yards, capped off by a 3-yard touchdown by Travion Sneed on a Wildcat. And Mineola now leads 21-7 with 19 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And Howe about to get the football back with the wind in front of them. And Sanchez tees it up for the Tech Wave kickoff. The wind is blowing very hard tonight from the north. It's a deep kick, goes into the end zone about a yard, a line drive kick, and he took full advantage of that wind as it rolled through the end zone.
Can we get a
Tech
snap,
Wave kickoff.
a stat update?
Go ahead.
Sneed has 8 carries for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. Moreland 2 carries for 20 yards.
100 yards already.
Wow. It's impressive.
That is.
So he's on pace for 400 tonight, is that right?
As of right now, yes.
My goodness.
He came in with 1,500 on the season.
He's something very special. He is. And he's a great kid, according to head coach Luke Blackwell. Elo's going to run the near side trap, and actually he's going to hand off to Crosby, who was met. Not a chance on that play, and Howe went backwards 4 yards.
Making the stop, number 40.
I think the Jackets
right.
the Jackets' speed is starting to show here. How fast they can move from sideline to sideline there.
That's the end of the first quarter. Mineola up 21-7. We'll be right back right after
Bulldogs 7, Yellowjackets.
Forfeit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe. Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
You're listening to Howe Bulldogs football on HoweEnterprise.com. Not a member of FDIC. Not an equal housing lender. Fake license number 8675309. Howe, Portland, Seattle.
Entering the second quarter here at Bulldog Stadium, Monty Walker along with Justin White, Blake Burnett, the Blizzard, Carson Grogan, our engineer and spotter, Jake Roberts running the highlights, and of course Caroline on the sidelines. Howe has it left to right now, and Elo's going to keep it around the left edge, or right edge rather, and he's going to forward,
Lopez on the quarterback keeper.
Surge forward if I can find the words, and there's an injured Matt Hayes on the ground now. So Elo got a couple of yards, but Hayes is down. So we'll check this one.
Injury timeout on the
Landon
field.
Duty checks into the game, and Ricky Yake will head out to attend to Matt Hayes, who's at about the 21-yard line on the Howe side of the field. Hey, don't forget, the FFA boosters have popcorn tonight. So if you're wandering around and you're thinking, what am I going to eat? It's very cold. Head on over to the concession stand, grab you some popcorn. Tell Jason Langford that we sent you, and tell him hello over there. So again, Matt Hayes being attended to. As soon as we, if we take a commercial timeout, he'll pop right back up.
That's usually the healer.
It usually is. So let's take a 30-second timeout. Nope, there he goes. I knew it. All you have to do is say it.
Just talk about doing a commercial.
Oh, Hayes is not putting any weight at all on that right knee or right leg.
Injured players, number 21, Matt
That
Hayes,
is not a good sight. Another sophomore goes down. We lost Aiden Burris a week ago to a knee injury, and Howe continues to drop like flies.
But still playing hard. Always still playing hard.
3rd down and 12 for the Bulldogs as McNutt is into the game at quarterback, I believe. And Caleb McNutt looks right, throws. It's incomplete and almost intercepted. Trying to hit Ryan Huff on the quick look in. And it was batted up in the air and almost picked off by the safety. I thought coming across over there, Moreland playing defense was going to be able to pick that off. But it's 4th down and 12.
I don't mind that look. Caleb McNutt, who's maybe just a little bit of a better passer than Lopez. Lopez is a pretty good runner. And just a little bit of the outstretched hand there, a Huff, and ball almost on the ricochet, was almost intercepted.
So now if Flores wants to get this ball way on up in the air, it might go for a while. Punting from his own 12-yard line is where his feet will stand, and now a whistle before the play. We don't know what it is. Apparently a timeout has been called. We're going to take one real quick. We'll be right back right after this.
We have a timeout on the field.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
The Howe Bulldogs entering the field again after the timeout. 11:30 on the clock here in the second quarter. Mineola leads 21-7 as we reset things for you. Flores is going to do the punting as he stands at his own 12-yard line. The line of scrimmage is the 24. So he's got a deep step right there, deep. And Flores is going to kick it off his right foot, a high wobbly kick, going to go past midfield to the 38 and go out of bounds around the 34, maybe the 33-yard line. It got a great spot from the official. And Mineola will start from their own 33.
Well, we see him, what was it, eight carries, 100 yards for Sneed and 3 touchdowns.
He is very impressive. You know, one thing we haven't mentioned a lot this year is the enrollment numbers. And Howe had 356 high school students in which they turned in. And for one, they're right on the very bottom of 3A Division I. There's only a handful of teams that are smaller than Howe. And then to take that small school and dump them into this District 5 3A is just ridiculous by the UIL. Here's Moreland going to take off on first down, and he's going to run over the right side. He has a first down and more, some speed, being chased down by Taylor, and now being chased down by Inge. He gives him a push, but Moreland is going to escape and head into the end zone. However, there's a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and we'll have to check the flag.
I wonder if that's going to be a hold.
It was going to be a 67-yard touchdown by Moreland, but the flag will negate it, and it's coming back.
Well, everybody's keyed in on Sneed, and Moreland gets that on a quarterback keeper, and we see some of the speed he has.
So we're talking about enrollment and how with 356 high school students, Mineola has 493, only behind Bonham in the district with 499. But if you take 493, that's 137 more students in high school than Howe, which equates to about 70 more kids, 70 more boys than Howe has to choose from. And 70 makes a big difference. It's a numbers game, and Howe got the raw end of the deal on the numbers game, not only this go-around, but the last go-around as well on that realignment. But this one's even worse because of the district realignment that Howe's been put in. It's just not a fair fight.
Not only is it numbers, but it's going to be distance, too, when you have to travel all the way to East Texas.
So the ball now at the 35, and Moreland wants to throw his first pass of the night, and it falls incomplete to Sneed. It thought for a moment it was a lateral as Howe tried to jump on it. Damian Wilson went to try to recover it, and then Sneed finally woke up and said, hey, I better get on this, but they ruled it incomplete.
Yeah, first time we've seen the arm of Moreland. As that penalty, I guess it was a holding call against the Yellowjackets.
And it was a spot foul. They moved it back to the 30, so apparently the hold happened at the 40-yard line, so a 10-yard spot foul. And now it's second down and roughly 13 yards for Mineola. A man goes in motion, and they fake it to him. Moreland's going to keep it around the right edge and see if he can go again. He's got a lot of room and obviously has a lot of speed, and he'll just float out of bounds around the 40-yard line in Howe territory. This time he didn't feel like taking it to the house. He wasn't up for the challenge for the foot race, I guess.
I was about to say, and I wonder if he was tired from the last foot race he had that got called back. But faked the jet sweep, kept it himself. Looked a little bit like Raines did a couple of weeks ago with Macquarie. Faked the jet sweep and kept it himself and went around that edge, right to the middle, and then went on that foot race and there decided just to escort himself out of bounds.
First and 10, right to left goes Mineola. Sneed still in the backfield. And Moreland calls for it, gets it, turns, handoff Sneed. Left tackle bounces it out near side. He's got the 35 stumbling and then cuts through a couple of defenders. Racing to the house, and he's in. Knocking on the door, and he just blows it open. 40 yards on the run, and Sneed now over 150, I believe. And we're at the 10-minute, 22-second mark in the second quarter.
He's just toying with the Bulldogs right now. I mean, a lot of that wasn't breaking tackles. It was just staying on his feet. He does a good job of just keeping his balance. Even tripping, if you try to trip him and fall, he's tripping to bring him down. He's usually pretty good at staying on his feet. Just a real all-around package.
Fourth touchdown of the night by Sneed. And Rojas on to boot the PAT through. It's been a low-line drive with the wind. Let's see what he does against the wind, and it's a little bit better. Right down the middle and good.
28-7, Mineola in the lead. 10:22 left to go in the second. We'll be right back.
This is Coach Davey Dubose, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Jody and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletics, girls and boys, middle school and high school. Good luck to all the Howe teams in the coming school year.
This is Coach Jay. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask you to back the Dogs and become a member today. Visit Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Bulldog pride never dies.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
3 plays for Mineola, 70 yards on the drive, and it was capped off by a 40-yard touchdown run by Travion Sneed, his 4th touchdown of the night here at Bulldog Stadium. What a talent he is. He's showcasing it tonight. 28-7, Mineola in the lead. 10:22 on the clock here in the second. And that's your hit exterior scoring drive recap. Now the Tech Wave kickoff is about to be booted by Sanchez, and it is a pooch kick. Fair catch called for by Elo at the 35-yard line. And Howe will start left to right from their own 35.
Guys, after Sneed made his first scoring drive and the first tied up, Coach Jay asked the boys in the huddle if he was that hard to tackle, and they said no. However, I think he was just warming up, because down here it really is really cool to watch him.
Yeah, he's such a talent. Again, the only comparison that I can make at this stadium is Bam Morris.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so many years ago. I mean, I was a freshman.
You remember watching him?
I do remember watching him. But I played against him the next year at Cooper, and what a talent he was. We should have won that game, by the way.
Were you able to tackle him?
I was, yeah. He was a hoss. 1st and 10, left to right, and Elo is going to hand off to Crosby, who's in jail. I mean, I'm telling you, he took the handoff, and he had 2 Yellowjackets right in his face as he took the handoff. So that's a loss of a couple. Or are they going to put him back at the line of scrimmage? They're going to mark it at the 36.
I think he lost a couple, or a yard at least.
At least a yard, so 36-yard line.
Going back to Bam Morris, I was asking Ricky Ake about him earlier, and I was telling him about the comment you made that Sneed's probably the best on this field since him. And Monty said, yep, he played him. He'd probably remember him.
Yep. I probably have tire marks still left over from Bam Morris. 2nd down and 11, man in motion. And this is going to be a handoff inside Jones. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and he may have gotten a yard.
Jordan Jones.
Or he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So Howe's not really able to put together any kind of a run game tonight. There's been a little bit of a spurt with Jordan Jones early in the first quarter, but nothing a lot to speak of to sustain any kind of a drive, really.
They've tried some end arounds and some misdirection type stuff, but Mineola's been good about staying in their lanes and making a good tackle.
Timeout's been called. We'll take 1-2. We'll be right back right after this.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
3rd down and 11 coming up. The Bulldogs head back out onto the field. 9:06 on the clock here in the second. Mineola up 28-7. It's been the Sneed show, 4 touchdowns, and man alive, has he had a first half.
He is as advertised.
The first half, I mean, we're talking about 15 minutes.
It really hadn't been that long.
So this is McNutt into the game on 3rd down and 11. And he is going to drop back, pumps, fakes, throws down the field. Elo, he overthrows him. Or Elo turned around and stopped running. And then McNutt had the ball fall incomplete, and it was almost intercepted, I thought, at the end.
Yeah, but Elo was open there for a little bit. There was a window there where nobody was around him, or he had some space, but I think just overshot him just a little bit. I don't know if he was supposed to go a little bit farther in his route or what.
Well, he did stop running.
Yeah.
But you're right, he was open. There was some separation there. 4th down and 12, or 11 rather, for Howe. So it's punt time as Flores will stand with his feet on the 25-yard line. He'll have the wind at his back. 3 on the play clock. They get it off. And the high wobbly kick really booms this one. Bounces at the 17 and is going to be taken by Hooten near side. Stiff arms the defender and is hit hard out of bounds by Bryce Crosby right on the stripe at the 27-yard line. So Hooten took a pop by Crosby.
Good hit by there. Crosby stayed there and didn't over-pursue and used the sideline to his advantage.
Hey, Blizzard, do we have an update on Snead? What kind of numbers are we looking at right now?
Making the stop.
9 carries, 140 yards, 4 touchdowns for Snead. Moreland has 3 carries for 50 yards.
You said 140 yards?
Yeah, 140 for Snead.
Wow.
Jeez, that's just...
Bam Morris had 9 for 138 that night here in 1988, and then he got injured and never played again. And this is going to be Moreland going to keep it around the right edge, and he's going to be tackled for about a 3-yard gain as he crosses the 30. We'll see who made that nifty tackle. I think that's Jordan Jones over there.
Now, was that in the first half with Bam Morris?
That was in the first half.
Yeah, so maybe around this time.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. But Howe had a really good defense and a really good team that year.
Yeah. Well, Bulldog fans, don't feel bad. Snead ran for about 300 yards last week against Pottsboro. And Pottsboro is a pretty good team.
You know
themselves.
what they do.
Yep.
2nd down and about 6 right here for Mineola. Snead in the backfield to the right of Moreland. Sends a man in motion. Hooten gets it on the jet sweep. Going right. Gets a great block from Snead. But he's trapped and going to be brought down shy of the 1st down marker somewhere around the 36-yard line.
Good job there by Jordan Jones. And I think Colby Taylor was in there. Came back from his linebacker position, able to cut off that jet sweep there.
Colby Taylor had such a great game a week ago in Commerce. We called him our legendary player of the game. And it's good to see him back out there. They really missed him 2 weeks ago.
Very active on defense last week.
3rd down and 1 for Mineola. You would think this is pretty manageable if you have Snead in the backfield. And Moreland, handoff, Snead, right guard, and he finds a seam. Look out, he wants more. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, cuts it inside to the 20, makes another man miss to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Kiss him goodbye. Snead on his 5th touchdown of the night. A remarkable 63-yard run by Travion Snead. And he's over 200.
The ability for him to cut back like on a dime, as big as he is, and he's 6 foot 220 listed. And folks, let me tell you, usually those roster weights are kind of exaggerated. He is all of 6 foot 220 pounds.
I mean, he is. You see this type of running back at the 5A, 6A level.
Really, yeah.
But never in 3A, hardly ever. Here's Rojas's PAT, and that one is true. So Mineola extends their lead here in Howe, over Howe, 35-7. 7:02 left to go in the second. We'll be right back.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company. NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle. NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
2 plays and 69 yards for Mineola. It was a 64-yard touchdown run by Travion Sneed, his 5th touchdown of the night here at Bulldog Stadium. And the Yellowjackets lead Howe 35-7. And that's your hit exterior scoring drive recap. Your Tech Wave kickoff is nearing as Sanchez tees it up. Telling you what, Sneed is so impressive. Sanchez's kick is a pooch kick. Fair catch called for by Elo. At the 33-yard line, same as a moment ago, almost the same result. Howe will start at their own 33.
34-yard
You know, several years ago, about, let's see, carry the 1, drop the 2, let's see, about 12 years ago.
Okay.
I was doing Denison games and got to see a young man named DJ Jones just about every week, and he was remarkable. He became the all-time leading rusher at Denison. And what he used to do was similar to what Travion Sneed is doing, although it was at the 5A level. But I can imagine if DJ was in a 3A game, it would have been very similar to this. And Corey Robertson at Denison, I got to do most of it, all of his career, and that was remarkable as well. It's very similar to this. 1st and 10 for Howe, left to right. Elo back in the game at quarterback and a fumbled snap. And I believe Elo was able to get back on it, and he was. So that's going to be a loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Again, we have a new center and a new quarterback tonight. The freshman in at center.
2 yards.
And I think he's still out there. And the quarterback is Elo. Yes, the freshman's still out there. Malin Walker at center. And Ethan Lopez, new quarterback, new center. You knew probably there was going to be an exchange situation, and that happened right there.
Well, give them credit. I mean, for to be halfway through the 2nd quarter and their first time to have a mess up like that, doing pretty good.
2nd down and 12. Toss near side. Jordan Jones cuts and snakes his way maybe back to the original line of scrimmage to the 33-yard line, a gain of 2.
Same thing as it's always been. Jones, pitch out to Jones, and he's just trying to find a hole, find a crease. But the Yellowjackets are so good for moving from sideline to sideline and just keeping good containment there, and do that for Jones.
Ball at the 34, which apparently was the original line of scrimmage because it's 3rd down and 10.
I say this is where you do a halfback pass. Why not?
Crosby into the game at fullback. Man in motion is Jones, and they fake it to Jones and wanting to throw it deep down the field. Ryan Huff overthrows him. It was overthrown by quite a good bit by Ethan Lopez, and Huff was not able to run underneath it. It was probably over his head by a couple of steps.
Yeah. Just kind of a out pattern there. He could have probably hit him. You know, he had a step. Huff had a step there on his defender, but just overshot him.
The bad news is the clock stops there with 5:36 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Howe already trails 35-7, and Flores on to punt for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th time in a row. It's a high, wobbly kick, not very far, but it's going to bounce at the 39-yard line, and Howe will kill it right there. Mineola will start right to left from their own 38-yard lines where they'll spot it.
Well, kind of like we talked about in the pregame, at this point in the game, you're down 35-7. You're just trying to have no injuries right now. You got a big game coming up next week against Bonham. That's a winnable game, and so you want to hopefully have no more injuries.
Yeah, and not only that, you want to gain this experience for a lot of those sophomores out there. I mean, there's a ton of sophomores on the roster, and you know, the more experience they get, the better off they're going to be, unless, of course, you get injured. Yeah. You don't want any of those injuries. 1st and 10, Mineola. A handoff, near side, new back into the game, and same type of result as on the carry will be Jackson Holland, and he'll get a 1st down across midfield into Howe territory at the 46-yard line. So our night furniture sideline report, Caroline Slauson down there. I know it's cold. What about the Bulldogs? How are they doing over there?
Hey, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Coach Simmons is back down here on the sideline.
Wow.
So that is a bright spot down here on the sideline tonight.
Do you think he'll talk to you?
Oh, maybe. I maybe can. Let's see if I can get him.
If you get him, just pop on. First down and 10, right to left. And this will be a handoff near side. That's Holland again. He shakes a defender and headed left down the sideline, out of bounds. A pretty nice gain of about 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 yards on that run.
Holland did a good job there of breaking some tackles. But he was kind of almost caught in the backfield there. And it looks like, I guess, I'm assuming probably Snead would be done for the night.
Boy, it would be silly to have him injured tonight in this game,
man.
would it not?
It would be.
Do you think a coach might lose a job over getting Snead injured tonight?
When you're leading by 5 touchdowns?
Second down and 2. All kinds of new faces already in for Mineola. A bad snap. Moreland's going to have to run. This is dangerous. Around the right edge, he has some space, being chased down and finally brought down. I believe Seth Key is there along with several others. And a first down run of Moreland as he does escape. It was a good run after the botched snap.
You're absolutely right. When he dropped that ball, that's when I thought that's maybe when Moreland may be at his best, when he has a chance to scramble and trying to find something there.
We've seen that several times. The one I remember the most was last year at Commerce.
Yep.
When the ball was snapped over his head, the quarterback goes back to pick it up. I think it was Jaden Wilson.
Jaden Wilson was, yeah.
And, boy, that turned into disaster because Wilson's so fast. First and 10. Ball at the 29. Mineola looking for more. There was movement up front by the Yellowjackets, and this one's going to come back 5 yards. So it'll be first and 15 with the procedure call against the Yellowjackets.
Yeah, I remember that Commerce game last year. They seemed like they had a couple of those where he was scrambling or ball went over his head, and he was able to make something out of it.
So the ball now at the 34-yard line. Again, hey, if anybody back there is wanting anything to eat, thinking about it, popcorn at the FFA Booster Club concession stand down in the north end zone. I want to thank all those FFA Booster members over there. Jason Langford, the Blum family. First and 15 here, and this is going to be a direct snap to Holland around left side, and he's going to be gang tackled by the Bulldogs. A nice job there. A host of Bulldogs, and Jordan Jones turns to the crowd, flexes his muscles with his pink gloves, down 35-7.
And actually, Monty, that was Snead. That was Snead who got that carry.
That was Holland.
Was that Holland?
Or it was Snead, was it?
Yeah, that was Snead.
I thought Holland had. Okay, all right, it was Snead.
So Snead showing that he was human there and got tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Ball at the 34. Hey, I guess that makes things different. If you tackle Snead, then you can flex your muscles, right? No matter what the score is. Second down and 15. And Moreland, handoff Snead, shot out of a cannon over left guard. Look out, gets a block downfield, makes a couple of men miss. He's into the end zone. There is he. He's down at the 1-yard line. What a nifty run. He had his legs taken out from underneath him right at the goal line, and they'll mark him at the 1. Can you imagine? And he gets up a little bit gimpy.
He was slow, just a little slow getting up.
He's going off the field, and he's going to stay in. They tell him to stay in. So he's at the 1-yard line. Is he going to get his 6th touchdown of the night? That was a 33-yard run for Snead.
He ran around that edge, and I tell you, he just he's not even really breaking tackles. I think the Bulldogs are trying to get their hands on him and just can't wrap him up.
He's got great vision and great moves. So here we are, first and goal, Mineola from the 1. Snead into the game to the right of Moreland, who apparently is going to keep it himself around the right side. He steps into the end zone for the touchdown. And Moreland sidesteps a defender, and the Yellowjackets make it 41-7. Awaiting the PAT with 44 seconds left to go before the half.
And right there out there lead blocking for him was Travion Snead.
So the first
person to score tonight, whose name is not Travion Sneed for the Yellowjackets. And Moreland punches it in. Here's Rojas for the PAT. It's up, and it looks good. And it is. 42-7 our score here at Bulldog Stadium. Mineola in the lead. It's almost halftime, 44 seconds. We'll be right back.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dick and Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
6 plays, 62 yards for Mineola. And it was a big 33-yard run by Sneed to take it to the 1, but Moreland punched it in, the first person other than Sneed to score tonight. And it's 42-7. That's your hit exterior scoring drive recap. The Tech Wave kickoff is going to be fair catch, called for by Ethan Lopez again, this time a couple of yards further to the 39 is where Howe will take it to start this drive. Only 41 ticks left to go before the half. I see some hot chocolate coming up here, too, from the concession stand, so don't forget about that. Hot chocolate over there. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, hey, your friend Clarissa.
Yeah, Clarissa Doty.
Clarissa Doty over here.
She's not questioning me. The sidelines.
You know, that was pretty interesting. Your debut. Was it your first game?
I think we were 3 or 4 games in, but yeah, that was that's my first year.
You looked a little suspicious with your black. You were all in black with your black backpack.
Yes.
Kind of looked like the Unabomber over there on the track. Elo gets the snap on 1st and 10, left to right, and he'll, I think, get trapped around behind the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1.
He's slow getting up, too.
And he gets up real slow. He's grabbed by Jordan Jones, who picks him up, says, get back in the huddle. A loss of 1 back to the 38. But, yeah, you were all in – you was your first year with us. You were doing sidelines that year, so you were on the track. You were dressed in black.
Yes.
And
with the backpack. Looks
was that the cold night in Whitesboro?
It may have been.
Okay. 2nd down and 11. There's a handoff up the middle to Crosby, and he gains a few yards past the 40 to the 42, and that's the end of the first half. We'll get back to the Unabomber story in the second half.
It'll be good story for the second half. Yep.
So it's 42-7, and Mineola has scored the final 42 points of this half. And we'll take a quick timeout. We've got some interviews coming up. I think we have Katie Grogan coming up with our Senior Athlete of the Week. We'll be right back on the backside. Justin, Bucks North Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Buck Snort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Buck Snort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
This is Coach Davey Dubose, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Jody and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletics, girls and boys, middle school and high school. Good luck to all the Howe teams in the coming school year.
This is Coach Jay. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask you to back the Dogs and become a member today. Visit Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Bulldog pride never dies.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa, those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show. Today's Senior Student Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Family Attorney Kimberly Killebrew. Now let's join Monty Walker with the Senior Student Athlete of the Week.
Our Senior Athlete of the Week is Katie Grogan. Katie, you're the product of Howe High School quarterback marrying the Howe High School cheerleader. Of course, Scott Grogan and Jennifer Troxtel. Do they ever talk about their high school days?
All the time. Sometimes too many or too often. I hear about it and how amazing they are, and I don't like to hear about it.
All right, I'll ask you the same question I asked Brooke a week ago. Do they ever tell stories about their really amazing classmates?
All the time. I hear that they are the best class to ever come through Howe High School. They were amazing. Their sports were amazing. It's kind of hard to compete with sometimes.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that. So speaking of classmates, Pam Kirby, your cheer coach, how difficult is she to deal with?
I feel like people think she's really difficult, but she's so nice and she's so supportive, and she pushes us to be the best that we can be, and we wouldn't be who we are without her.
Having gone to school with her, I believe none of that. This has been a difficult year for the Bulldogs. I'm just kidding, Miss Kirby. This has been a difficult year for the Bulldog football team. How do you keep the spirits high during those times?
Constantly staying peppy in the games is good. Cheering on the boys even when they think they're not doing good. They are in our eyes, and that's the only thing that we can ask for.
Do you have a favorite teacher?
I would probably say Thomas Tipton. He's our art teacher because he just makes the class more fun and enjoyable.
Basketball is starting. Let's talk about last year for a moment. Greatest Lady Bulldogs basketball team of all time. How fun was that?
It was awesome to be a part of that legacy and make history in Howe. And obviously we wouldn't have been able to do that without the team we had and our coaches. And I'm so thankful that I was able to be a part of that team.
Now, a lot of seniors are gone, graduated a ton, still have Coach Lands. What's the outlook?
We can be the best we can be. We just need to practice hard, and I think we have a really good chance this year, and I believe in us.
You have an injury. What is the injury?
So I think I have shin splints, but I had to get an MRI because I might have a stress fracture, but next Monday we'll find out the results. Hopefully it's all good.
So you're also on the golf team, and you've had some success there also. Talk about that.
My freshman year, I was the 6th person on the team, but because we had an injury, Peyton Streetman, I got to go to state, and that was one of the best experience. It was so much fun just to be there and to cheer them on. And then my sophomore year, we made it to I think we made it to regionals that year because we didn't do it obviously my junior year, and that was a lot of fun also because the team I had I was so close with, and it was a lot of fun.
Outside of sports, what else are you involved with at Howe High School?
I'm in National Honor Society. I'm just a member, and then I'm also in Student Council, and both of those are really fun to be a part of.
That is Katie Grogan, our Senior Athlete of the Week. The Athlete of the Week is brought to you by attorney Kimberly Killebrew. If you have legal needs regarding custody, child support, or divorce, call attorney Kimberly Killebrew at 214-432-1595.
Today's Senior Student Athlete of the Week is brought to you by family attorney Kimberly Killebrew. You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company. NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group and Dick & Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show.
Hey guys, it's Caroline. Welcome back to Bulldogs Stadium. We are enjoying a performance by the band. Our Howe ISD Employee Spotlight of the Week, sponsored by Wildcat Welding, is going to be live this week. I'm really excited. With me, I have Pam Kirby. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So you are the varsity and JV. You're the high school cheer sponsor.
Yes, ma'am.
And I am the middle school cheer sponsor. Yay. And so I just have to say, first and foremost, you have helped me out so much. This is my first year, and with COVID happening at the beginning, you girls saved me.
No, I'm super excited that you're on the team, and that we'll be able to work together and use our programs to move these girls from the middle school to the high school and give them an experience and what it's going to be like. And working together is important to me for both the middle school and the high school, because you're bringing these kids up and you want to build your program, and working together makes a
difference.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
So I don't know if you have heard, but this, we do a senior spotlight every week, and Monty has actually done a few of your cheerleaders actually, and I think most of them have said that you are one of the most influential people up at school, and here's the kicker: you work in admin.
I do.
So you aren't with them like you would be if you were a teacher. And I think that says a lot about the impact that you have on them. And we were just talking before the game to Katie, actually, who we interviewed today, and you're hard on them.
I am.
But go ahead and explain kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah. This is my 15th season. Mm-hmm. I did 5 years at the middle school and moved over to the high school in 2011, and I have built my program a lot like. My influence comes from my drill team instructor from high school, Betty Mullins, and she kept high expectations of us. She taught us how to be ladies. She taught us good character and things like that, and I built my program around a lot of what I was influenced as a high school student and athlete. And I do have very high expectations for these girls. I expect them to have very good character. They are not only representing themselves, their school, but also their community, and to me that's important. And I want to teach these girls to not only be a cheerleader or an athlete, but my goal is to be good citizens and give back to their communities and be a community member someday and a good one.
Well, we had talked before the season started, and you had mentioned that, my job really here is to, cheerleading is great, but I'm here to put you out in the world, and that's kind of what I've told these other girls. And my middle school girls, I told them, look, I want you to be on the sideline and at a Texas Tech.
Oh, it's great.
That would be great. One day that'd be awesome. But my job is to help make you a good person, and
that's right.
And that's what we're here for. So I just hope that you know how much you are loved and inspired, and it's to all these girls. I do have another question though. The girls about to get out there and perform for halftime. Are you nervous, or do you get nervous, or no?
No, I don't necessarily get nervous because I have great confidence in my team. Usually, especially by this point in the season. We work hard all summer, and I push them hard. And so usually by this time, first couple of games, I'm a little nervous, but this far into the season, I'm usually not nervous. I'm pretty confident. I do watch them closely. I tell them every week. They'll say, "Oh, how did the routine look?" And I'll say, "I'm not the person to ask because I'm the biggest nitpicker because I said I see every little thing you do, So, but no, they do always look great, and no, I don't get too nervous."
So the butterflies are gone by this point?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so one last question. What do you have to say to those who say cheerleading isn't a sport?
I would have to disagree. Yeah. And it's funny because a couple of years ago when we had our competition team, I recruited 4 football players.
I didn't know that.
3 were football players. 1 was a band member. And because I was short, I could take 20 to competition, and I was short 4, and I brought them on to stunt and run my flags.
There you go.
And they were real quick to say, "Oh, this is not as easy as it looks." I mean, cardio, you have to have cardio. You've got to have strength. It is athletic.
Absolutely. It is.
All the way around. People think it's just a breeze, but it's really not.
Yeah, they've obviously not seen Navarro cheer on Netflix.
Yes.
So
my girls last year, as a matter of fact, at competition last year, they were watching that in their rooms, at the hotel rooms, and we went to practice that evening. They said, "We're pretty sure you're just like their coach."
You are Monica, for sure. Well, Pam, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to let you go because your girls are about to get out there. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Alrighty.
Guys, we'll be back with some scores around the area and some thoughts on this first half right after this.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
Corfit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show.
Welcome back to Bulldog Stadium, 42-7. Mineola winning this one at the half. We got a while left. Yeah, about 9 minutes. Blizzard. Are you feeling like a blizzard right now?
Yes, I am. It's freezing up there.
Yeah. I do think it's colder here in this booth because of this. We got the top open. So what are our stats for this first half?
We'll start with the Mineola offense tonight, as they've got 42 points so far. Travion Sneed has been everything as advertised. 12 carries, 237 yards, and 5 touchdowns. His quarterback, Moreland, adds 6 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. And they put the change of pace back in, Holland, for 2 carries for 24 yards. On defense, the Bulldogs are led by Jordan Jones with 4 tackles. Bryce Crosby has 3 tackles. Jackson Atkins has 2. But it's really been the Travion Sneed show on offense for Mineola tonight. Now, for Howe's offense, we have the one big play to start the game, the 71-yard pass from Jordan Jones to Ryan Huff. The Bulldogs have not completed the pass after that. Jordan Jones adds 6 carries for 15 yards and a touchdown. Ethan Lopez, 3 carries, -1. Matt Hayes, 2 carries, -3. Cross, 1 carry, 0 yards. And Bryce Crosby, 3 carries for 0 yards. The linebackers from Mineola have been them on defense, as they are led by Travion Sneed on defense as well with 5 tackles.
Well, I don't know what it looks like from up here, but from down there watching Sneed, it really is something.
Yeah, he's the best player I've ever seen in person
Yeah.
at this level.
Yeah, he's really fun to watch, I got to tell you.
For him to be as big as he is and to cut like he does, it's just so
It's
impressive.
like he really can't do wrong out there,
And
honestly.
Sometimes it looks like he's about to stumble and fall down, and then he
He's
just
like-
cuts.
It's like all part of his plan.
Yeah.
He, I know y'all had mentioned down here when JoJo got him and he kind of flexed. And I don't
Yeah.
know if y'all saw, so he kind of flexed back. And he was like, okay, yeah. It was pretty good. Some look at some scores around the area. Denison at Rock Hill tonight. The Blue Hawks behind with at home 45-14. Jackets winning that one. Salina and Van Alstyne tonight 20-0 at half. Salina beating the Panthers right now. SNS and Bells 35-3. Bells winning at home at half. Lone Oak and Leonard tonight 24-6. Leonard winning at home. Wiley East and Sherman tonight in Sherman 9-0. That's a weird score at half. And then of course Bonham having to forfeit to Pottsboro, and Calmer's having to forfeit to Rains tonight. That's your scores around the area.
Sounds good. The real score there, and that I'm shocked by, is that Denison Rock Hill score.
Yeah, I bet old Lynn Burkhead is having a good one with that one.
Yeah.
A good time. So, all right. Well, we will be back with some more thoughts on the first half and what we're got to look forward to in the second.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe. Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
Welcome back. We're at the half. We're going to recap the first half for you. We have a couple of highlights. Actually, we have a lot of Sneed highlights. We have a lot of Travion Sneed highlights. It was all. How many did he have the first half? 237 yards, and there's 5 touchdowns coming up with Travion Sneed. So let's get started. But it was Howe who started out the football game in very nice fashion. It was on the very first play of the football game. It was a halfback pass. Let's listen to that. First down and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Jones and a halfback pass down the field. Wide open, Ryan Huff caught it at the 48, sprinting towards the end zone. He's got the 20, makes a cut to the inside 15, knocked down at the 10-yard line, inside the 10 to about the 5. That was a halfback pass from Jordan Jones to Ryan Huff down to the 5-yard line, and a play later it was JoJo. Side and a slot to the right. Matter of fact, double wing, and this is going to be a handoff to Jones, running right side. He is in. It is touchdown time in Texas. That capped off a 3-play, 79-yard drive for the Bulldogs to open the football game, and Howe led 7-0 and shocked all of District 5-3A, who's looking from afar. Howe led at the 10-17 mark in the first, but Mineola took the ball for the first time at their own 49-yard line and went 5 plays, 51 yards, capped it off on this 15-yard touchdown by Sneed. Moreland turns around, and he hands it to Sneed, right tackle, and he barrels his way towards the goal line. Man, what a run that was. He's in. Touchdown, Mineola. That made it 7-7 at the 7:56 mark. 5 plays, 51 yards on the drive. Howe took it, and from here on out, Howe's possession ended up in punts. Mineola's next possession started at the 6:09 mark from their own 49-yard line and ended on this 16-yard touchdown by Sneed. Moreland tosses Sneed, makes a cut, now heads out to the right side, spins at the 5, now spins at the 3, won't go down inside the goal line. Is he close? He's in. My goodness. Wow. What a run. Incredible performance in the first half tonight. 2 plays, 19 yards there for Sneed. 14-7, Mineola took the lead at the 5:20 mark. Howe punted again. Mineola got it at the 1:57 mark in the first at the 50-yard line. It only took them 3 plays, 50 yards to drive, and they took the lead, or they extended their lead to 21-7 on this 3-yard touchdown by Sneed. Sneed getting it directly from the snap, and he easily goes in for the touchdown. 3-yard touchdown for Sneed on the Wildcat. His third of the night, and now Mineola leads 20-7 with 19 seconds left to go in the first. And they made it 21-7. Howe had to punt it again. Mineola took it at the 11:21 mark in the second quarter from their own 30-yard line. Went 3 plays and 71 yards, made it 28-7 on this 40-yard touchdown by Sneed. Turns, handoff, Sneed, left tackle, bounces it out near side. He's got the 35, stumbling, and then cuts through a couple of defenders, racing to the house, and he's in. Knocking on the door, and he just blows it open. 40 yards on the touchdown by Sneed. That was his 4th of the first half. Made it 28-7. Howe had to punt again. They gave it back to Mineola with 8:46 left to go in the second at their own 31-yard line. 2 plays, 69 yards later, and a 64-yard run by Sneed. Mineola from the 1. Sneed into the game to the right of Moreland, who apparently is going to keep it himself around the right side. He steps into the end zone for the touchdown. And Howe had to punt one more time, but the score right there was 35-7 after the 2 plays, 69-yard drive. Mineola took it and scored one more time in the first half at the 5:26 mark at their own 38-yard line. They drove 6 plays, 62 yards, and scored on a 1-yard touchdown by the quarterback Moreland. Mineola from the 1. Sneed into the game to the right of Moreland, who apparently is going to keep it himself around the right side. He steps into the end zone for the touchdown. 6 plays, 62 yards on that drive, made it 42-7 with only 44 seconds remaining in the half, and really that's where we are. Howe killed it on 2 plays right after that, and we're into the second half, and it's been the Sneed show. It's definitely been all Travion Sneed. We'll let our sponsor of this highlight segment, Howe Podcast 101, Jake Roberts, with us. Let's talk about Travion Sneed a little bit. What are your thoughts?
He's an absolutely incredible player. He's been fun to watch.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun. Are you going to be able to get Travion Sneed on the Howe Podcast next week?
You know, I highly doubt that.
I think you ought to make an effort.
You know, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah, try to get Travion Sneed on there from Mineola. All right, we're going to take, the Howe Bulldogs are coming back out on the field. So we're going to keep it right here. The Bulldogs trailing 42-7, but there's no quit in the young pups. We talked about it early. This is a very good football team in Mineola. They have plans for way on past gobble time. And the Bulldogs going to try to get through this one with a lot of experience for the young players and try to stay healthy during this thing.
I think that'll be the key thing here in the second half for both teams, really, is just to try not to get anybody hurt here.
So the Bulldogs who lost the toss and they received in the first half. Mineola won the toss and deferred. So the Yellowjackets will get the ball to start here in the second half. So it could quickly be Snead 49-7. But Howe's going to start.
Well, I thought at some point you'd sit Snead and just give him a break.
Boy, you would think so.
He had a long game last week in Pottsboro against Pottsboro in that overtime win. But right now he's out there on kick return.
So the Bulldogs are teeing it up on the Tech Wave kickoff. Again, thanks to Jake Roberts for our highlights. He's doing a great job all year, cutting those. Added a huge added benefit to our broadcast. Here is the kick by Flores. It's going to be a short kick taken by Hooten at about the 25-yard line, coming to the right side, and finally drugged down by Seth Key at the 39-yard line on the far side in front of the Mineola bench. And Mineola will set up shop going right to left towards the concession stand with a first and 10 with the wind blowing right in their face.
And I tell you, it seems like outside it's gotten colder since the beginning of the game, and the wind is still blowing.
Hey, Caroline, I want to see if you can talk to Coach Simmons at some point in the second half, maybe a little bit down the road, or maybe a few plays from now, or whenever you can. But let's get the second half going a little bit. Moreland is in the pistol formation. He turns around, hands it to Snead, left tackle, big hole, and he's got a long way to go, but he's dragging a couple of Bulldogs down to the 40-yard line in Howe territory, and one of them is Jordan Jones.
I tell you, you put him in that pistol and get him the ball, and then just let him find holes. Of course, he didn't take much here because there were big holes all over the place. He just had to pick one in between one of his linemen, and he does just a good job of cutting back and looking for the Bulldogs. He didn't break that one open.
And what we'll do is I see Caroline talking or down there next to Coach Steve Simmons, and what we'll do is we'll do a play-by-play, and in between plays maybe we'll let Coach Simmons talk.
That'd be good.
So 1st and 10, pistol formation, Snead in the backfield. I'd like to get his thoughts on Snead for sure. Handoff up the middle, and he breaks through. And Bryce Crosby makes the leg tackle of Snead after about 9 yards, just shy of the first down.
Snead out here. He says that he is the best since Bam Morris.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
There was another running back named Anthony Lynn also who played at Solano. And I think that Anthony and Bam and Travion is in the same class. They look very similar to each other.
Well, we are so glad to have you back. How you been?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be back on the sideline and with my Bulldogs. That feels good, and I've been doing all right. And testing out the heart tonight, seeing what kind of work that they did on me, and it's handling it. It's handling it.
We're gonna keep Ricky close by you, so it's good to have you back, Coach.
You know, Coach Simmons brought up
Bulldogs are in my heart. Love all everyone.
We know.
Coach Simmons, good to have him back on the field, and you know, being on the field is so important to him, and being away has been really hard on him. Here's a keeper up the middle by Moreland, shot out of a cannon. He's fast, and he's got the touchdown. 24 yards by Moreland as he just ran the read option. He faked it to Snead and just sprinted straight up the middle.
Yeah, that's gouged the Bulldogs all season long, those read options, and you got to account for Snead. And right when you do that, you leave a wide open hole there for Moreland, the quarterback, to just run right through.
Most of the Mineola drives have happened on 3 plays, and that one is no different. 3 plays, 61 yards for the Yellowjackets, and Rojas on for the PAT, and this one is true as well. 49-7, Mineola in the lead. We're just beginning the third quarter. 9:37 left. We'll be right back.
CoreFit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. CoreFit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At CoreFit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. CoreFit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
You're listening to Howe Bulldogs football on HoweEnterprise.com. Not a member of FDIC. Not an equal housing lender. Fake license number 8675309. Howe, Portland, Seattle.
You may wonder why there's no spike. It may be the first time since 1983 that there's no spike. Spike was born in 84, by the way. No spike on the field tonight. You know why?
What's that?
What else is the theme of 2020?
Oh, no, COVID.
Well, Spike doesn't have COVID, but Spike has an injury.
Oh, injury. Okay, I'm sorry. That was COVID.
So the Spike has been under the care of the doctor for a little while. So no Spike. And also Katie Grogan, a cheerleader, not being able to cheer. She's got some issues with the shins and stuff. So injuries all over the place, not on the field, not just on the field, but also cheerleaders, Spike, and we think the band as well. Here's a fair catch called for by Ethan Lopez, and he dropped it. It went right through his lap. And Mineola says they have it at the Howe 48-yard line, and they do.
Wow.
It just signaled for the fair catch, and it was a high kick, which gave him a lot of time to think about it, and it also gave Mineola a lot of time to get to him and right around him. And when he had so much traffic around him, it just kind of went through his hands.
Maybe just distracted him a little bit. I kind of wondered if there was going to be some kind of a halo rule or something like that, and not give him a lot of space, but I think they gave him enough, and it just went right through his hands and turned over by the Bulldogs.
So 9:29 on the clock here in the third, and Mineola's looking for more. And they step back out on the field on offense and whistles before we can get underway, and they're talking about this. What could they be talking about, Blizzard? You're the man with the answers on this kind of thing. What are they visiting about?
I honestly don't know on this one right here. I mean, I thought it was a clean recovery, and then Mineola hadn't even came out to run a play yet.
They're still discussing things. I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe what you said, that Coach Jay might have brought up, hey, you got to give him a little bit of room to catch the ball, and maybe they're discussing that.
Yeah, that could be something, but.
Do we know the rule as far as halo rule, like how far around the space they have to give him?
I think they have to give him a full yard. Might even be 2 full yards.
Well, they're still discussing it. Right now the ball rests at the 38-yard line in Howe's territory, and the Howe's defense is out on the field. Mineola's offense is on the field, but the officials are still discussing this. And now the back judge, the line judge, and the referee are going to go over there and talk to the umpire. And
Looks
now,
like it's going to be Howe ball.
And they are. I guess it's the halo rule.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a shot in the dark. That analysis I gave was kind of – didn't think that would actually happen. Man, okay. But Bulldogs dodge a bullet.
A re-kick?
Yeah.
No, I don't understand that rule.
Well, yeah, what's the reasoning there?
That.
I'm sorry, Blizzard? Yeah, I don't
think he understood either. I don't.
Yeah, I don't understand why you'd re-kick. It had to be offsides is the only reason you'd re-kick.
Wow. Okay, so after all that.
Well, okay. Well, if you're Mineola, do you do it again? Another Tech Wave kickoff right to Elo, a very high one like that? I think I might.
Yeah, they will, and they've been doing that all night long, just kicking to him, see if he can catch it. He's done well.
He's done great
until that time.
Well, and now after dropping one, you think I'm going to kick it to him because he's probably thinking about it a little bit.
I know.
So Sanchez still talking to his kickoff team, and they're kicking off from the 40. Which is just a re-kick. I'm still just kind of confused on this whole thing. So anyway, Sanchez is going to kick. We'll get an explanation later from Coach Jay. And the kick is another high kick. This is going to be even shorter. It's going to land, and Cross may have fell on it.
He did.
And I thought for a moment that was going to be recovered by Mineola, but boy, I tell you what, that one was close. It landed on the turf, and Jason Cross was able to jump on it before Mineola did.
Well, I think it went up in the air, and I think it got kind of twisted in the wind a little bit and started hooking back the other way, and Cross looked like Cross almost tried to catch it with one hand. And good job by him to hop on it, and better field position for the Bulldogs here.
And the wind is a blowing, so that could have, played a factor in Elos, and it could have played a factor there. 1st and 10 for Howe. Left to right towards the south end zone. Double wing look. Man goes in motion, which is Jones. Handoff to the first man through. And I believe that's Crosby, and he is hit immediately. Right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. He might actually have gained a couple of feet. They'll give him a yard. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Just trying to go to that interior line, and there is just nothing there. They got, maybe 7 in the box, 8 in the box there.
And the play clock just started. I think we're at the point now where you just run this sucker down to about 3 and snap it, right?
I think so, too. I don't think you try any kind of hurry-up offense right now.
Again, Malin Walker sprinting from the huddle to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and 9. Everybody else follows behind, and Lopez goes under center. Double wing look again. Elo toss near side. Jordan Jones cuts it up. Nothing doing there. A nice play on the edge by the defensive end. Or unless that may be the safety coming up. Or that may be Travion Sneed. No, it was, I believe it was a safety, which was Drew Robertson.
Yep, Robertson came up. He was playing close to the line of scrimmage and was just waiting for Jones right there and able to take him down right at the line of scrimmage.
You know, you're tempted to pass right here on 3rd down and 9. You know, the only problem is if you don't complete it, it stops the clock. 49-7, our score right here. 2 receivers near side. Pistol formation. Elo fakes the hand, throws a screen pass out to Huff, who makes the catch, and he's not close enough for a first down, but he crosses midfield to the 47-yard line. And now it's a manageable 4th down and 4.5 perhaps, where if Huff doesn't make the catch, you just punt it away. Now it's 4th down and 4.5, and you might actually think about going for it, and it looks like Coach Jay is going to do that.
Yeah, why not? You're down 49-7. Ball is on the Yellowjackets side of the field. You said it's a 4th and 5, 4th and 4, manageable down.
2 receivers out left side this time, Duty and Huff. Pistol formation for Elo. And he fakes the hand. Same play other side, throws it, and a screen pass is nowhere near his intended receiver, Huff. It was overthrown and incomplete, so it'll be 1st down and 10 going the other way for Mineola.
So, guys, what happened with those 2 kickoffs is there was some inadvertent whistle when they blew the whistle before it hit Elo. And when he dropped it, they went for the ball and gave it to him anyway. So
that is some investigative journalism right there.
Good job, Caroline.
Very nice.
Inadvertent whistle, okay.
So Mineola takes over after the turnover on downs from the Howe 47-yard line. There's 7:08 on the clock here in quarter number 3. And this is going to be a handoff on the jet sweep to the far side. And trying to spin out of a tackle, can't do it, is the running back Holland. And it'll be 2nd down and 10, a nice tackle on the far side.
Yeah, good tackle there by, looked like that was Wesley Inge on the tackle.
I believe it was Wesley.
Good job there, wrapping up the running back there, bringing him down right at the line of scrimmage before he got out around that corner.
You know, Holland is impressive himself. He's a speedster. Of course, they all carry a lot of speed on this team.
They do.
Moreland just dynamic from the quarterback position with his speed. Holland in the backfield will be along with Moreland, and Moreland's going to keep it right up the middle. He dashes out to the right side. Got a lot of room, being chased down, breaks a tackle, and now finally goes down out of bounds somewhere around the 35-yard line in front of the Mineola bench on the far side. That'll move the sticks.
Moreland, we talked about here, before, he can run too. He's got a lot of speed as well, gets around on that outside. They don't pass the ball a lot. In fact, I don't know if they've thrown a pass tonight.
One pass incomplete to Travion Sneed.
That's right, yes. But most of their ground game is running the ball, 336 yards a game running the ball.
1st and 10, right to left, 2 receivers near side for Mineola. Pistol look for Moreland. Holland to his right, and Holland's going to get it coming near side. A big lane to the left side, and he's got a lot of room, and he's flipped end over end by Caleb Warman. The ball comes out, but it's recovered by Mineola at the 27-yard line.
Good job there by Warman. Take his legs out. They can maybe force that fumble there. And I think we're at the point where we're starting to see some of the twos in there for Mineola.
It's a 1st down run. And it'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 27. 2 receivers right side. And Moreland wants it. He fakes the hand. Heading right. Cuts left. Cuts back to the middle of the field. Look out, 20. He's got the 15. Looking for a block. Gets a block to the 5. Strolls into the end zone. What a run by Moreland. Very impressive. On a 27-yard touchdown by the quarterback with 4:49 left to go in the third. And Mineola goes up 55-7.
Good job by Moreland. Showed some speed, some elusiveness. Went right, reverse field back to the left side. And TJ Moreland, only a sophomore.
Yeah, he is very impressive.
You got him and Dawson Pendergrass. Those guys are the
we haven't seen
here.
Pendergrass, an ankle injury
at
tonight.
134 rushing now.
Wow. Rojas on for the PAT. This one is up. It's high. And it is good. And that makes it 56-7 with 4:49 remaining in the third. We'll be right back right after this.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeouts limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit one offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Hey, Justin, by the way, did you get your birthday buffet?
I did not get that this year. I was not able to do it. I did do it last year, and it's as promised. Show your ID, and they will get you the free barbecue buffet.
Yeah, maybe Jim will, lax the 5-day period.
Yeah,
maybe we could talk him into that.
Yeah, Jim's a good guy. I got a chance to talk to him, too, last year.
So the Tech Wave kickoff by Sanchez is going to be a high, long one, going to be taken by Jordan Jones on the run, catches it at the 21-yard line coming near side. Now changes direction, goes left, looking for the far hash, and is going to be brought down. I think there was a big block. I heard the crowd roar, but the ball carrier Jones was brought down at the 35-yard line, and he's slow to get up. Your scoring drive recap, your hit exterior scoring drive recap, 4 plays, 53 yards for Mineola, capped off by a 27-yard touchdown by Moreland. That's his third touchdown in a row and of the night. And Mineola leads 56-7. We're at the 4:37 mark here in quarter number 3. And the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. Howe will start there at their own 35. 1st and 10, left to right. Elo goes under center, I formation. Crosby is going to get the carry on 1st down, and he'll move the pile forward for about 4 yards, near the 40-yard line to about the 39. A pretty good run there by Crosby, probably his best run of the night.
Yeah, maybe Crosby is a
Robertson.
A hard, tough runner, him and Matt Hayes.
Again, Hayes has not been seen since his injury, and Hayes' parents have exited the game. So we hope Matthew is okay, saying our prayers. Duty will go out far left, and there's another I formation with Crosby and Jones, and this time it's Jones. And nowhere to go on the left guard, so he bounces it out right, has a 1st down, and goes out of bounds in Mineola territory at the 48-yard line.
Well, and that's probably what Jones needs to do more often, or he's tried to do a couple of times, is see nothing on that left side, goes back the other way around the corner, around that right corner, and able to find some open field.
So a fresh set of downs for Howe. 3:20 left to go in the third.
Maybe a little momentum now for the offense to get that 1st down.
On the Mineola side of the field at the 48, Elo goes under center. Toss, no, he gives to Crosby. And he cuts it around the left side. And he's going to gain maybe a yard or two to about the 46-yard line.
Handoff there to Crosby, getting the 2-yard gain.
Tomorrow, Howe will have their downtown Halloween festival. Be sure and attend that. It starts at 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Actually, Founders Day will kind of be from 2 to 5, 2 to 6, and then Halloween tomorrow evening. So really 2 events in one in downtown Howe tomorrow night by the Howe Area Chamber of Commerce. 2nd down and 8, and Lopez handoff. Jones, this time he's trying to make a man miss by turning around, and this is going to be a big loss of about 7 yards back on the Howe side of the field. He was kind of trying to change directions, and he got trapped.
Yeah, he was successful doing that a couple of plays ago, but that time the Yellowjackets, they were able to stay with him and not allow him to pop out around that corner when he found nothing there on the interior run.
So this will bring up a 3rd down and about 14, just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Howe went backwards on that play. It's Crosby and Jones on the backfield, and they're discussing the play. Elo in the pistol, 2 receivers near side. Elo rolls out right, looking down the field to throw, and he's going to be tackled hard at the 43-yard line, and the man that brought him down is headed to the University of Colorado, and that was Jackson Anderson, and he brought him down hard from behind.
Anderson did a good job there of pursuing, and he laid the lumber there on Lopez.
A loss of 5 on the carry by Elo, and Howe's it appeared like they were going to go for it on 4th and about 20. But a timeout's been called. We'll keep it here. Let's talk about the Unabomber a little bit more.
Oh, yes, yes.
So 2017 was your first year on the broadcast.
Correct.
We were looking for a sideline guy, and you happened to be the guy. We got new equipment that year, and you show up dressed in all black.
Try to dress the Howe colors.
A black hoodie, I think, because I think it was a cold night, so a black hoodie with a black backpack.
Yep.
And standing on the sideline, kind of away from everybody. And Clarissa Doty walks down to you and says, "What?
Who are you?" and the thing is, I'd been here for a few games. It was probably the 4th, 5th game. Like I said, it may have been Whitesboro. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a few games. I've been kind of patrolling the sidelines and dressed suspiciously. And I guess, and I imagine it was probably a conversation where a lot of people were wondering, who is that guy? And so she got the courage to come up and just ask me, "Who are you?" And I was
hey, that's what administrators do. They check out everything. So back on the field, 4th down and 20, and McNutt into the game at quarterback. Drops back 3 steps, hammers it deep down the field, and it's in and out of the hands of Bryce Crosby. He had a first down on the left hash right at the first down marker, but it went right through his hands. And he's upset with himself, and he slapped his hands together. Just a big clap. He knew that he had a chance at that first down. He gets a big hug from Drew Murray as he knew he had a shot. And at this point, hey, when you're 0-7, you don't just get on your kids. You slap them on the helmet and say, "Good try," and, just keep fighting. That's kind of the situation Howe's in right now.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs have kept fighting all season long. I mean, Coach Jay's talked about the coaches show. We've talked about it here off the air, how this Bulldog team is injuries and just talent issues. I mean, they've kept trying hard, playing hard.
Hey, I'm going to tell you one thing. 43-yard line is where Mineola's out, but this is Holland around the right side, and he's got a first down, and he's got more. There's a flag down. This is going to be a touchdown by Holland, but this one's coming back. There's a flag down somewhere around 10 yards down the field. Apparently a hold is going to be called, and this one's coming back. But to be honest,
another flag for celebration by Holland.
Oh, okay. So another flag. So, but what I was going to tell you is I wouldn't be shocked. I know it's odd. I know it's extremely odd for when people hear this. They're going to say, "Oh, you got to be kidding me," because Howe's 0-7. They're going to be 0-8. Okay, you're going to play Mount Vernon. You're going to be 0-9 there. If Howe wins next week, you're 1-9. If Howe can beat Bonham. But I'm telling you, don't be shocked with all the trials, tribulations that Bill Jailing is not voted District Coach of the Year. Don't be shocked.
Okay, I can see that.
With everything he's had to piece together, and so much respect from the other coaches in the district, because Howe's one of 2 teams that will play every game in district play and not forfeit a game. Howe could have very well forfeited some of these games. But no, they come on the field, they give it all their best, even if they're piecing rosters together with tape and bubble gum, which they've done for the past several weeks. So it's 1st down and 12 here after the holding call, and this will be a handoff to Holland again, left side, and Crosby will bring him down. And right there also is Jordan Jones to bring him down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, give credit to the Bulldogs coaching staff, and they haven't played to the system, if you will. I mean, some coaches have, and some teams may have, done that. But Bulldogs have not done that. They've gone out there and played hard every game.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 56-7 here at Bulldog Stadium. The Bulldogs still fighting. We'll be right back right after this.
This is Coach Jim Fryer, former Bulldog head coach and athletic director. Connie and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 80s. They supported all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask you to back the Dogs and to become a member today.
This is Coach Jay. Visit Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Bulldog pride never dies.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
2nd down and 6 for Mineola as we enter the 4th period. Yellowjackets up 56-7. Here's a handoff near side to Holland. Jordan Jones brings him down. Almost the ball comes out with him. But a nice tackle there by Jones and a loss back to the 41-yard line.
Good job there by Jones coming in, back in from the secondary, coming up playing up near the line of scrimmage, able to make that tackle.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8.
You know, it's funny about that situation I had with Clarissa Doty a couple of years ago. I told her, she goes, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm with Monty Walker." I don't think that made her feel any better, though.
No. Probably not. Is that still Moreland into the game? It's 3rd down and 8, and we're going to find out because I think that is Moreland running for the right side, looking for the out-of-bounds marker, being chased by Jackson Atkins. And pushed out of bounds after a 1st down run in Howe territory to the 27-yard line.
If there's still Moreland in there. And Sneed we have not seen in probably since early 3rd quarter. He's probably getting a much-needed rest.
.10:42 on the clock. So it's 1st and 10, pistol formation, and Moreland will turn, hand, Holland, left side, bounces it out. A great block on the left edge, and Holland's gone. He's got the 5. He's in the end zone. I don't think he'll celebrate this time. It's a touchdown for Holland and Mineola, and it's 62-7 with 10:16 left to go in the game. Jackson Holland on the 27-yard score.
Get a handoff and just goes around the left tackle there, and a lot of speed to burn for this Mineola team.
So he's the first touchdown for anybody not named Moreland or Sneed.
Okay, I was going to say, Moreland had a touchdown in there too.
Rojas on to boot this 63rd point through. Now, we're coming up on getting close to a record. The most points Howe's ever given up is 71.
Oh, really?
And that was in 1992. against Van Alstyne right here on this field. It was 71-20 that night. 10:16 on the clock. Rojas to boot this one through. It is a low line drive kick. He's good with the wind in his face, but not so much with the wind at his back, but he does bang it through. 63-7, our new score. We'll be right back right after this.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap, 4 plays, 57 yards for Mineola. And it was a 27-yard touchdown by Jackson Holland, the first person to score other than Travion Sneed or TJ Moreland tonight. 63-7, our new score, and your Tech Wave kickoff is in the air. It's going to bounce at the 5, and Jordan Jones picks it up, bobbles it. Now it goes right side in front of the Mineola bench and is out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
Jordan Jones.
And Howe will start deep in their own territory on this next drive. There's 10:07 on the clock. And again, the record amount of points against Howe in a single game is 71.
Was that during your time?
That was a year after I graduated.
Okay.
I was not part of that. Thank you very much.
Well, there's still 10:07 left in this ball game, so hopefully Bulldogs can protect that record.
Ball will be resting at the 12. And the Dogs come back out on the field on offense. And Lopez goes under center. He's going to turn and toss to Jordan Jones, who has a seam, and he's kind of late getting through it, but he does pick up enough for a first down at the 21-yard line. So a nice, nifty run by Jones. I thought for a moment if he hit that seam perfectly, he might have gone to the house. But then you're talking about Mineola's speed, and I don't know if you can outrun any of these kids over there.
Yeah, and a good thing with Jones, he had some blockers on the outside, some receivers out there who gave him a couple of those holes.
A good 10-yard run by Jones picks up a first down. Ryan Huff goes split out wide to the right. Crosby and Jones in the backfield. Lopez under center. Duty is the wing back. This is a toss right side. Jones trying to race around the corner and can't outrun that very quick defense, and he's knocked down for a loss of about 3 yards.
Hunter Wright, one of the linebackers there, was watching Jones all the way through and able to make the tackle in the backfield as he tried to get around that corner.
Ball at the 19, and Howe's facing a second down and long. You know, a lot of sophomores into the game. There's a freshman still into the game at center, but Huff split out wide to the right. You got Elo coming back. Your quarterback, Austin Haley, not into the game. He'll be back next year. And here's a handoff to Crosby up the middle, and he will carry it for about 3 yards back to the 22-yard line, maybe 2 yards to the 21.
Yeah, that's the thing about this team is you've got a lot of sophomores, a lot of underclassmen on this team, and hopefully in a year, maybe 2 years, that'll all come to fruition. But for the time being, we've just kind of got to watch this and just kind of watch them grow, and as tough as it may be. Typically,
when a team plays this many underclassmen, when they're seniors, they are really, really good. Now, Howe's going to have have some help from the UIL on the district that they're put in, perhaps. But here's a toss to Jones and nothing doing there. Again, that speed from the defensive end just gets there so quickly, and a loss of 5, maybe 6. From the toss to Jones. It's just very quick.
Well, the Bulldogs are figuring out if they're going to get any yards, it's going to be from the outside, running the outside. They're not being able to get anything in between the tackles. And the question is whether or not they can get blocks on the outside to get some of these bigger runs.
6-yard loss. And it's 4th down and punt time for Howe again tonight. And Flores will stand at his own 12-yard line and boot this one high, which is right into the wind, which means it doesn't go very far. And Ryan Huff will kill it at the 32-yard line. If you're going to punt the ball into the wind like that, you've got to punt it low, and you need to really know how to punt a spiral in order to cut that wind.
Mm-hmm.
So the punt lands at the 33-yard line, which is where the Yellowjackets will start this next drive. Again, if they score and kick the PAT, it's 70.
71 is the record.
71 is the record.
Quick scoring update is 27-20 Winsboro over Mount Vernon. That is in the 4th quarter of that game. It's the only other game in our district going on right now.
What's Winsboro?
27-20 Winsboro over
Wow.
Mount Vernon.
Wow.
That is in the
Wow.
4th quarter, yeah.
Okay. We'll check down with Caroline here in just a moment. It's 1st down and 10 for Mineola. And a new quarterback into the game. And a fumble on the play, and I believe they're able to get back on it. It was a handoff to Blaylock. Adam Blaylock in the backfield, and a new quarterback into the game. And it was just a bad exchange there, but Mineola was able to get back on it at the 37-yard line. Let's check down with Caroline Slauson. Things are slowing down a little bit, eh?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What'd you say?
Are you cold?
It is so much colder. The second half that I feel so bad for Blizzard. As cold as I am, I can't imagine.
Yeah, he's up there in the wind.
Y'all should check on him.
Yeah, we probably should. Are you okay up there?
Blizzard.
Come in, Blizzard.
Blizzard.
My hands are numb, but I'm okay.
He can barely turn on the mic.
And the thing is, it's really hard to use to write and use gloves. So
Yeah, I can't. My left hand isn't a glove. My right hand cannot be in a glove.
So a penalty on Mineola will back it up to the 41-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and, I guess, about 15? 2nd and 15 here. All kinds of new faces in for the Yellowjackets. And this is going to be a quarterback keeper. And he's got a lot of room right up the middle. That's Hooten in a big lane. Looks like he may score. Chased down and by Warmond, and he's into the end zone. That is another touchdown by the Yellowjackets. This one of 41 yards by the backup quarterback, Thomas Hooten.
wow, just another read option. Kept that and off to the races. Kept it right up the middle. Big hole for him.
And now Rojas trying to make it 70 on the Bulldogs. Haven't given up this many points in a very, very long time. Snap is on the tee. The kick is through the uprights, and it is good. Mineola hangs 70 on Howe. There's 6:04 left to go in the game. We'll be right back.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company, NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dick and Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap: 2 plays, 67 yards for Mineola. 70 to 7. Mineola over Howe here. 6:04 left to go in the game. It was a 41-yard touchdown by backup quarterback Thomas Hooten. And that's your hit exterior scoring drive recap. Here's Jordan Jones on the Tech Wave kickoff up the right hash, now to the left hash, coming near side at the 18-yard line, stiff arming a defender and going out of bounds near the 20, I think just shy of it, around the 19-yard line. And Howe will start there on their next drive. 5:53 left to go in the game.
Yeah, you need a clock burner here, so you can keep away from that record.
Yeah, you don't want to give up. You don't want to give up more than 70. You know, Howe hung 77 on Tom Bean.
That's a record.
Back.
That's a record.
That is the record.
Yeah.
It was 76 my senior year at SNS, but it was eclipsed by Tyler Grisham and company. Here's a swing pass near side. Jordan Jones looking for some room. 20, 25, and steps out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. And McNutt into the game at quarterback there through that swing pass, and he's going to stay in the game at quarterback. 10-yard pass and catch from McNutt to Jones will bring up a new set of downs for the Howe Bulldogs at their own 30-yard line. Ryan Huff will go split out wide to the right with Crosby next to him. McNutt all alone in the backfield. Quick pass right side caught by Huff, looking for a block by Lopez, trying to find the far corner and slung down after about a 5-yard gain to the 35-yard line. A nice pitch and catch there.
I like McNutt. I like the kind of way he throws the ball. Has some little zip on it when he leaves his hand.
Have we checked down with Caroline? Did we do that? Our night furniture sideline report. Oh, yes, she's very cold.
Yeah.
Hey, how was Coach Simmons?
He was great. I don't know if he was more excited to see, or if we're more excited to see him, or he's more excited to see us.
Here's McNutt going deep ball down for Elo. He turned around and got turned the wrong way. The ball was up in the air. He was wide open, but it was the wrong shoulder perhaps, as Elo was expecting it over his left shoulder. It went right shoulder, and he turned around and couldn't find it.
That's one of those ones, kind of like baseball, when you're out in the outfield, the ball is hit towards you, and you just start backpedaling, trying to figure out which way you're going to turn. And that's kind of what Lopez was. He couldn't figure out which way to turn over, left shoulder, right shoulder.
Mount Vernon tied at 27-27, 2:36 left.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Mount Vernon, Winsboro tied, 27 up.
Wow, okay.
3rd down and 5. McNutt drops back 3 steps, throws, swing pass over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. It was in between the two receivers. Crosby on the short route, Huff on the deep route, and it fell just right between them. And it'll be 4th and 5.
There was a penalty on the field goal by Winsboro. Mount Vernon went for 2 and got the 2. 28-27, 2:36 left.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
Well, we've had classics in District 5-3A.
Really
I feel really bad for Raines. They're a really good football team, and it appears that they're not going to have a chance past the regular season, and that is a shame. It's the best football team they've had in quite some time. On 4th down and 5. Pass out to Elo, looking for a first down. He's going to be no, I think he did get it.
He got
hit hard after he picked up the first down. He caught the ball on the near side at about the numbers, turned around, and was past the sticks, but he was slammed down hard, but he gets up here. So with McNutt in at quarterback, Howe's starting to move the football a little bit through the air.
Yeah, I like that. Got to Lopez kind of on a crossing route there, and he tried to go upfield, and Jackson Holland came and just laid the wood there on Lopez. Luckily, he was able to get up.
Fresh set of downs at the Howe 41-yard line is Howe. Right to left, another swing pass. This one is Jordan Jones, and he is hit hard. Right at the 41-yard line. Maybe no gain if Howe is lucky. And it looks like they're going to give him the 41. He was looking for a block, couldn't get it, and was hit hard. And it sounded like a helmet-to-helmet by Jason Holland there, or Jackson Holland, rather. But it's going to be 2nd down and 9. They give him a yard.
Just trying some quick little passes here. Get to your athletes out in space.
Hey, do we have a halfback pass again? Can we do that
Why
again?
not? Down 77. Let's bring it all out.
Duty and Jones near side, Huff and Crosby on the far side. And Lopez, the 3rd receiver on the far side. Screen pass, Jones, and he makes the catch. Makes a man move, a nice nifty move. And he's going to be close to a first down near midfield, but I think a little bit short, maybe a yard short. So a 3rd down and 1 is coming up for Howe. We're at the 2:19 mark, and this is the drive you wanted, the clock burner. And Howe, who knew that throwing the ball would be the clock burner?
Really, and yeah, have complete passes here, and good job there by Jones, avoiding a man and able to get close to the first down mark. Let's see if they convert this 3rd down.
8th play of the drive, by far the best for Howe tonight. McNutt drops back 3 steps across the middle. It's going to be caught by Crosby at the 35-30, slung down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, and that is the pass that Crosby dropped earlier, but he makes the catch here and another first down.
Bulldogs looking like a spread offense team here. Throw little bubble screens, slants across the middle,
and
picking them apart.
Boy, McNutt hit a dart right on the spot right there.
Really did.
1st and 10 for Howe. 3 receivers right side, 2 to the near side. Same formation we've seen this drive. McNutt, screen pass near side, dropped by Jordan Jones. And he puts his hands on his helmet after he dropped it in disgust. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and that stops the clock with one. No, the clock still, now it stops at 1:14. It was running there for a little bit.
Just a little bit of kind of a,
it's all right.
We'll get to it.
That's okay. 2nd down and 10. You'd like to see Howe punch it in right here, wouldn't you? It kind of mirrors the season for the Bulldogs. 3 receivers right side. McNutt pumps near side, throwing downfield. It's going to be intercepted at the 15-yard line, and that will do it, you would think, for the Bulldogs. 1:06 left to go in the game, and we'll see if Mineola has any mercy whatsoever with a minute left.
To save the record right now, yeah. Down 1 point beyond it, or below it.
And Mineola will take over at their own 16-yard line. If they put Travion in, I'll tell you what, I may come out of this booth.
You may go tackle Snead here?
I may run down there myself and just dive at him. And looks like Mineola's in the victory formation.
He is in there, Monty, but
he's not going to run the ball.
I would think he would.
Please don't.
And
they take a knee. So Mineola's going to burn this clock here, and Howe, at exactly a minute, is going to move to 0-8 on the season and 0-5 in district play. And this is probably I don't know how there's a district any tougher than this in the state of Texas in Class 3A Division I. I just don't know how that would happen.
I'm going to give credit somewhere. I don't know where I saw it at, but I saw that this district, somebody coined the term district of depth.
Yeah.
District of depth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good teams in this district.
Like I said, Rains, I feel bad for Rains. Luke Shepard and company, man alive, what a team they have. And not going to be able to get in, it appears. And it's just a shame. And they have such a great head coach in Randy Barnes. And I just feel bad for Rains. And feel bad right now for the Howe Bulldogs, who take it on the chin. 70-7 as Mineola scores the final 70 points of this contest. Howe started out well and scored first, but Mineola flexed their muscles, and now the Howe Bulldogs wave their helmets over across the field as Mineola lifts their helmets, and they just kind of wave at each other. And now we'll have the school songs and the fight songs, and I'm ready for COVID to be over, Justin White. This is
we tackle each other for four quarters, then we'll wave at each other as we.
It's just interesting. I hope we never, ever, ever have this ever again. A season such as COVID. No. Never want this ever again. The Howe School song. The Howe Bulldogs turn, lift their helmets to the I think there's just the parents left at this point, the grandparents maybe, but you can tell they're loud, they're cheering, they're still happy for their kids, and you got to be, proud to be a Bulldog no matter what. These kids kept fighting. They will always keep fighting. They don't quit. This is a team that did not take the easy card and forfeit to Mineola, they certainly could have found a way to not play tonight. They certainly could have found a way to not play Commerce a week ago. They could certainly find a way to not play Mount Vernon in a couple of weeks. But I don't think Bill Jailing is the kind of person to do that. Hey, if there's football to be played, they're going to, buck up and play. I feel like, it's not, especially when you're 0-7, 0-8, and now you're in that, okay, it's not all about winning, obviously. And now it's about teaching character, pride, and what do you do when your back's against the wall? Do you quit or do you keep going and keep fighting? And I think Coach Jay has, indicated to his bunch that they're going to try to have character here and mold these young people into leaders that won't quit. Maybe there's a situation down the road in their life when they're 46 years old and things are going bad and they just want to quit. And I think you're getting a situation here where you learned, hey, you don't quit. You just keep going. You don't find the easy way out. You just keep fighting.
I was about to say, took the words out of my mouth, and that's what I was thinking about earlier today is what I was thinking about this game tonight was how the kids have been fighting. And this is not about football anymore. This is about you're teaching young men, because I hate to tell you that, but losing 70-7 is not going to be the worst thing that happens to you in life. You're going to have some tough times, and you're going to think about things like this, these seasons, where you had to push through and do things you didn't want to do and hang in there and stay tough and finish it out. Would it be a job or a marriage or whatever the situation is, you stay in there and you stay with it.
And I still say, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you don't see Bill Jailing as the coach of the year in the district. Don't be surprised. Coaches have respect for people that don't quit. Coaches have a lot of respect for people that do things the right way. Don't be surprised. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
Corfit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe. Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
You're listening to the Ann's Realty Group post-game show.
Welcome back to the Ann's Realty Group post-game show.
and we're going to wrap it up with stats from the Blizzard.
All right, we're just going to do some total yardage tonight. Travion Sneed had 267 yards and 5 touchdowns. TJ Moreland had 145 yards with 3 touchdowns. Holland had 64 yards and a touchdown. And the what's his name? Thomas Hooten, the backup quarterback, had a touchdown on 46 yards. For Howe, McNutt came in there in the fourth quarter and passed for 54 yards. He did have an interception. Ethan did not complete a pass tonight. Jordan Jones completed our other pass, 1 for 1 for 71 yards. Huff had 3 catches for 81 yards. Bryce Crosby, 1 catch for 23. He also gave you 9 yards rushing. Matt Hayes, we need him to get back out here, -3 yards rushing tonight. Jordan ended the night with 28 yards rushing, 3 catches for 20 yards tonight.
And as we wrap up our game, our legendary player of the game, you think Jordan Jones, Caleb McNutt?
I would like to give it to McNutt the way he came in there in the fourth quarter
Started slinging it around.
Slinging it in the 5 wide. And 3 of his incompletions, I thought his receivers gave up on routes too early.
That's our Legend Bank player of the game. Legend Bank, it's our privilege to be your banker, located in Whitewright. We're going to take a quick break and be back with Monty and Jake for highlights.
Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
Hello, Howe Bulldogs. This is Coach Joey McQueen, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Vicky and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask that you back the Dogs and become a member today. Go visit the Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Have a great year, Bulldogs.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmer's insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
You're listening to the Ann's Realty Group post-game show.
Welcome back. We're going to wrap this one up. The highlights for tonight brought to you by Howe Podcast 101. Jake Roberts has been doing the highlights for us all year. We're going to run those now and recap this game for you. Howe took the ball first. How come I can't hear myself? What's going on there? There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Okay. The Bulldogs took the ball first tonight, and right out of the chute, they made noise, and it was a big pass, a halfback pass from Jordan Jones to Ryan Huff. First down and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Jones, and a halfback pass down the field. Wide open, Ryan Huff caught it at the 48, sprinting towards the end zone. He's got the 20, makes a cut to the inside 15, knocked down at the 10-yard line, inside the 10 to about the 5. Well, from the 5-yard line, moments later, it was Jordan Jones. Side, and a slot to the right. Matter of fact, double wing, and this is going to be a handoff to Jones, running right side. He is in! It is touchdown time in Texas! How about that? 3 plays, 79 yards on the drive, put Howe on top, 7-0 with 10:17 on the clock in the first, and everybody in 5-3A raised their eyebrow a little bit about that one. And then Mineola, it was all Mineola from that point on. The next 70 points in the game was scored by the Yellowjackets. Their first score was on a 15-yard run by Sneed. Moreland turns around, and he hands it to Sneed, right tackle, and he barrels his way towards the goal line. Man, what a run that was. He's in. Touchdown, Mineola. Travion Sneed capped off the 5-play, 51-yard drive and tied the game 7-7 with 7:56 left to go in the first. Rojas made all of his PATs tonight, and Howe took the ball and had to punt on their next possession. Mineola went 2 plays, 19 yards, and scored on Travion Sneed's second touchdown of the game. Moreland tosses Sneed, makes a cut, now heads out to the right side, spins at the 5, now spins at the 3, won't go down inside the goal line. Is he close? He's in. My goodness. Wow. What a run. And I'll tell you what, this football field in its 85 years has not seen players like Travion Sneed very often. Bam Morris, Anthony Lynn come to mind. That's it. Howe had to punt on the next drive. Mineola took it at their own 50 and went 3 plays, 50 yards, went 50 yards and scored on guess who? 3-yard touchdown by, let's all say it, Travion Sneed. Sneed getting it directly from the snap, and he easily goes in for the touchdown. 3-yard touchdown for Sneed on the Wildcat. 21-7, Mineola in the lead at that point. 19 seconds left to go in the first. Howe punted again. Mineola got it at their own 30, went 3 plays and 70 yards, and scored on a 40-yard touchdown by Travion Sneed. Turns, handoff, Sneed, left tackle, bounces it out near side. He's got the 35, stumbling, and then cuts through a couple of defenders. He's racing to the house, and he's in. Knocking on the door, and he just blows it open. Howe had to punt again after that 70-yard drive. Mineola took it at their own 31, only needed 2 plays to score. 64-yard runs by Travion Sneed.
Yeah, well, I mean, who else would it be?
Mineola from the 1. Sneed into the game to the right of Moreland, who apparently is going to keep it himself around the right side. He steps into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, that was Moreland actually on the next drive, but that went 6 plays, 62 yards, and made it 42-7 at that point with 44 seconds left to go before the half. Howe killed it, and then Mineola started the second half at their own 39-yard line, went 3 plays, 61 yards, and scored on a 24-yard touchdown by Moreland again. Up the middle by Moreland, shot out of a cannon. He's fast, and he's got the touchdown. 24 yards by Moreland, and that made it 49-7 with 9:37 left to go in the second quarter. Howe turned it over on downs on their first possession of the second half. Mineola scored on every possession. 4 plays, 53 yards on the next drive, and it was a 27-yard run by Moreland. Cuts left, cuts back to the middle of the field. Look out, 20. He's got the 15 looking for a block, gets a block to the 5, strolls into the end zone. What a run by Moreland. Very impressive. 56-7 at that point. Mineola in the lead, 4:49 left to go in the third. Howe turned it over on downs in their next possession, got it at their own, Mineola got it at their own 43-yard line and drove 4 plays, 57 yards, and scored on a 27-yard run by Jackson Holland. Will turn, hand, Holland, left side, bounces it out. A great block on the left edge, and Holland's gone. He's got the 5. He's in the end zone. I don't think he'll celebrate this time. 27 yards on the score by Holland. 4 plays, 57 yards on the drive. 63-7. The Yellowjackets led with 10:16 left to go in the game. Howe took it and had to punt. Mineola's next drive started at the 7:25 mark at their 33-yard line, and it took them 2 plays to go the distance on a 41-yard run by Thomas Hooten. The new faces in for the Yellowjackets, and this is going to be a quarterback keeper, and he's got a lot of room right up the middle. That's Hooten in a big lane. Looks like he may score. Chased down and by Warmond, and he's into the end zone. That made it 70-7. Again, the most points Howe's ever given up in a game was 71 back in 1992. Howe escapes that record as the Bulldogs on the next drive drove it nicely from their own 20 down to the 27-yard line, but Caleb McNutt was intercepted at the 16-yard line, which virtually ended the game. So another chance for Howe to get out of here, without a lot of injuries, but however, Matt Hayes went down, and we'll have to see how Matt is doing, and hopefully he'll be fine and ready to go next week, but it didn't look good with his parents leaving the game with him as well. So for everyone who's been a part of this one, including Jake Roberts, our highlight man in the Podcast 101, right? How Podcast 101. I want to thank the Blizzard Blake Burnett, our statistician, and he did give stats, right?
I believe so.
I think he did.
Yeah.
And we want to say thanks to Justin White, our color analyst, to Caroline Slauson, our sideline extraordinaire, and to our engineer and spotter, Carson Grogan. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Monty Walker, and we'll see you next week, hopefully,